of a game.
Let's welcome head coach Jaleel.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome here to Williamsville South High School for some more JUCO football here on Western New York Athletics as the Erie Community College Cats play host to the Nassau Community College Lions. I'm Tanner Saunders. I'll be your play-by-play voice. Pleased to be joined on color by Tom Prince. We'll hear from him in a minute, but as I mentioned, the Cats, home sweet home. Well, technically they're home away from home, but still home no less. They are back here after a 4-game road trip. They split that 2 games to 2. They started off the first half of that long road trip beating Buffalo State JV 36-7 and then Brockport JV 23-22 before dropping their last 2 games against Hudson Valley Community College and Hocking College. And we'll tell you a little bit about Nassau when we come back here, but first we're going to pause for just a second to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Now, taking a look here at the Nassau Community College Lions, they come into this game 3-1 on a 3-game winning streak. They dropped their season opener 30-27 against Rochester Community and Technical College, 30-27 in overtime. They come into this game off of their bye week. Their last game was a home win over Hocking College, 24-20 on September 27th. The same Hocking College that beat ECC 42-7 in their last outing on October 4th. And Tom, we had talked a little bit about that, the pregame, that obviously ECC coming off the big loss to Hocking, whereas Nassau defeated Hocking. But you have to take that game for ECC with a little bit of an asterisk because their starting quarterback, Noah Willoughby, did not play in that game. He's back here today. That's going to be a big boost for their offense.
Oh, no doubt about it, especially when you look at the 3 quarterbacks that have been used outside of Willoughby. You're talking about Willoughby's got 108 attempts on the season. You add the other ones together, and it's 45 attempts. So you know your man that you're looking to throw the ball is no doubt Noah Willoughby. And for those of you that may not be Section 6 people in high school, this is the young man that is the passing record holder up until just last week when it was broken. But Noah Willoughby is the record holder here in Western New York as far as passing is concerned. So we know what we're going to get when it comes to the electric arm of Noah Willoughby.
And we are going to see that electric arm on offense here to start things out today as the Cats back to receive. One of those is Reginald Hoax III, number 5. He had a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown in the loss against Hudson Valley Community College on September 27th. Here we go. We are underway. And it is going to be fielded by the aforementioned Reginald Hoax III. Stutter stepping, now gets up past the 20, and here goes Hoax. He finds a crease down the near sideline and pushed out of bounds. Looks like just shy of the 40-yard line. So a nice little shot in the arm early on the return from Hoax. Here comes the offense.
Yeah, did you see how he actually almost came to a stop? What he was doing was waiting for his blocker to open up that hole for him. But a great job of being patient, allow that hole to open up, and then take advantage of it and get good starting field position here for ECC.
And here is Noah Willoughby. The last time we saw him, he put together the best game of his young collegiate career against Stevens Tech in that game. 17-25, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, including a 78-yard touchdown pass. The first play is going to be a give to Cameron Warburton, and he spins up ahead to the 40-yard line.
I'll tell you that Cam Warburton, also a local product right here. He comes from Cheektowaga High School is where he comes from. And there was a great combo when he was in high school with him and Matt Barr. Matt Barr was the quarterback for Cheektowaga, who's now been drafted by the Twins and will be playing pitcher for the Twins. Got an electric arm, and he was showing it when he was the quarterback with Cam Warburton.
Now it's second down. Here is Willoughby, the give again, and Warburton's going to try and bounce it out near side, but he gets strung out there and dropped. Looks like no gain on the play. Might have lost yardage, if anything, so an early third down and long here for the Cats offense.
You can see the penetration right there by Nassau. They're standing in the backfield. They are not right now giving any hold to Cam Warburton for him to be able to find and try to bust through. That has to be the line. There has to be some sort of hole created so that he can get through that first level.
Third down and long here for the Cats on the season, converting on third down at a 24% clip coming into this game, 15-62. Here's Willoughby to throw for the first time today. Throws it out towards the far sideline. It is caught. It's Jarrell Green. He is into Nassau territory. First down on a beautifully layered throw there by Willoughby.
Boy, did you see it just out of the outstretched arms? It looks like that was Chad Case there by Nassau. But you can see he got it just above the outstretched arm right here and into Green. What a great throw. Literally throws it perfect where his man's going to catch it right there.
A nice little hole shot there on third down from Noah Willoughby. Moves the chains on his first drop back of the day, and the Cats into Nassau territory. With the fresh set of downs, it's a give to Warburton, trying the middle there, and he'll pick up a modest gain on first down. You mentioned Warburton, the ex-Cheektowaga Charger. He holds the career record for rushing yards and touchdowns at the school with 3,529 and 42, respectively. He actually broke the records that were set 20 years earlier by his dad, Derek.
Good call. In fact, saw his dad here in the crowd when I got a chance to walk up here. So he's here enjoying his son's game as well.
And his son lines up in the backfield to Willoughby's right here on this second down. Here's the snap. Willoughby, the play fake. He throws this one quick. It is high and incomplete. The intended target there, Troy Singleton Burnett, brings up third down once again.
You know, it seems almost as if ECC is doing a better job in pass protection than they are in the run to be able to open up the holes in the run game. He has had time to throw the ball out here, Willoughby, so far early on in this one. So they're giving him the time when he's going to the pass. It's just when you're seeing the run, Nassau is attacking those gaps right there and really making it hard for Warburton to find an open spot.
Third down from the Nassau 29. Play fake, and he was looking for Green. Those two hooked up on the last third down for a big gain, I should say. That time the ball a little bit behind and incomplete, brings up the first fourth down of the game.
And obviously they're in that area where they could go for this. But I'll tell you, we've also seen their kicker. Their kicker can make something from this area right here. So they could easily, if they wanted to put points up on the board, give it a shot with their field goal kicker. But it is what we expected. They're going to go for this and try to get that first down.
They have not attempted a ton of fourth downs. This is just their 7th attempt of the season. They're 3 for 6 on third down this year. They're going to keep the offense on the field and stay aggressive. Willoughby drops back now, climbs the pocket, and he fires over the middle. The pass is caught. And that's going for a first down. It is Reginald Hoax III with the big fourth down grab.
Willoughby steps up into the pocket beautifully there. Did you see that? The pressure was collapsing around him. He steps up, moves forward into that pocket, finds his open man right there for the first down. That's a great job there by Noah Willoughby to sense the defense.
Reginald Hoax has recorded at least one catch in every game he's played this year, keeps that streak alive. Now 1st and 10, the drive continues. Willoughby in the shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Give to Warburton. He's going to bounce it outside. Now cuts upfield and lowers the shoulder. Still on his feet, keeping those legs churning. Now he gets driven back. We'll see where they spot it with forward progress.
Ever since high school, we've gotten the opportunity to watch Cam Warburton. That's the kind of runner he is. He will never give up on a play. He'll give you everything he can. He keeps those legs moving, and you saw right there he had 4 guys on him trying to tackle him, and he's still moving the ball. That's the kind of power runner and the kind of running back that he really is, and he's got the capability of carrying just about any defender down the field.
Last week had 5 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Their only touchdown last week against Hocking, and his first touchdown since opening day. Now 2nd down, here's the snap. Willoughby, short drop, fires out to the near flat. It is caught, now turning upfield inside the 5 and taken down there just shy of the goal line. That is Aaron Whitlinger with the grab, his 3rd of the season, and that'll make it goal to go.
I'll tell you, I think when he caught that, he didn't realize how wide open he was. He kind of made the turn and said, wait a second, I can really go much farther, and almost gets himself right there in the end zone. I think if he may have realized it the minute he caught it, he may have been able to get in there.
And now you got a new quarterback in the game. It is Nick Comizzo in there, and he is going to hand it off, and that play not going anywhere, snuffed out by the Nassau defense. They gave it to Donovan Huggett there.
Obviously, this was more of a red zone type of call is what that was, and they're going to go right back to what they did. At this point, on the first drive, I know you're trying to do things to get in there, but at this point, you got to think about one of the things that you may want to do is stick what got you down this drive, because they've been so successful moving the ball via the run and the pass together. These two, Willoughby and Warburton, have really been kind of the yin and the yang out there today and really making it happen on the offense.
Now their regular personnel back in there. Willoughby throws to the end zone. That pass is caught for the touchdown.
Great job. You can see he gets wide open right over there in the corner of the end zone, the front corner of the end zone right there, and he put it where only he could catch it. It was a perfect throw right there as he's going to get in and they get points on the board. This, to me, was a great drive right here by ECC. You're talking about almost took about, what was it, about a little over, yeah, so it was a little over 5.5 minutes right there on that drive.
Gavin Carney boots through the PAT there, so a little over 5 minutes off the clock there, and the Cats on their first drive, they make good. Make it 7-0 here early. The touchdown, Noah Willoughby finding Byron Williams.
This is where we talked about. Look at that. Only where his guy could get it, right in the front corner there. And perfect throw right there by Willoughby to make that happen. And that right there, to me, was the drive that ECC needed. When you come off a big loss the way that you did, Tanner, and then come out the next week and respond like that on the first drive, that is everything that a coach could ask for and more right there.
I concur, and that's one of the things that I was looking at coming into this game. I thought that was going to be a big key for ECC, was getting off to a fast start. ECC, now with that touchdown, have scored 55 points in first quarters this year. It's their highest scoring quarter of the season, and conversely for Nassau, they've allowed 28 points in first quarters this year, which is the most points they've allowed out of any quarter. So ECC, I thought, coming in had to take advantage of that, and they've done so just in the early goings of this one.
This is a very important game for ECC, as you've already lost one game to Hudson Valley. You don't want to go down to Hudson Valley and to Nassau right there to be able to start off the season as you're trying to get into the playoffs.
Here's the return up past the 20-yard line. Ball came out, and it's going to be recovered by the Cats, going back the other way, taken down at the 20-yard line.
Tanner, this sideline went nuts when that happened. Everybody was jumping up and down and celebrating on this one. That is a big job on special teams. Tanner, we say it over and over in every game that you and I do together. Special teams is so important, and it will win or lose you games, and that's a big opportunity right here for ECC.
I believe, I'm not sure if the returner just lost it or if maybe, I think, looked like maybe someone got a hand in there, but he might have just lost it, and then it was scooped up by Joshua Hicks. So now ECC takes over in the red zone here. First and 10, can they take advantage of the turnover? Willoughby is going to pitch it over to Darius Fleming. Fleming angling toward the sideline, but a nice shoestring tackle made right there to make it second down.
And that's something, too, that's a great call right there. We've seen that penetration. Remember we talked about that it seemed to be that ECC was doing very good on the pass protection, but maybe not as good as they wanted to on the run protection. So when you see that and you're seeing your defensive lineman attacking and getting into that backfield, those pitches become great because you get outside the ends, and then you try to get one-on-one matchups with the defensive backs.
4 wide here on second down. Willoughby, the handoff once again goes to Darius Fleming, and there was a hole there that opened up briefly, but he is unable to squeak through. He got back the lost yardage from the first down play, but it's still third down, no less here.
Give credit right there to the Nassau defense because it's exactly what you said. The hole did open up, but they closed it very quickly to make sure that that wasn't going to be a gain. I'll tell you, Tanner, we think what was going to come into play. Weather may come into play in this game because it is expected that we're going to get some rain. And if that happens, it could change the entire dynamics of this game. And getting off to a lead may be really important here.
Right now, 59 degrees and overcast here on third down. Willoughby rolling right, and that pass is batted right back in his face. Incomplete, brings up fourth down, and it looks like the field goal unit will come on.
Looked like that who knocked it down was number 94, Edward Ababio, the defensive lineman.
So they will send out Gavin Carney here for the field goal. On the season, he is 4 for 11 on field goal attempts, has a long of 42. Snap down, kick on the way, and it is no good. So the Cats unable to capitalize on the special teams blunder there for Nassau. So now with that, we will see the Lions offense on the field here for the first time today.
More than half of the first quarter right here has gone time of possession towards ECC. That's very, very important in this game, especially because you are trying to limit the amount of possessions that Nassau has out here today, and ECC has done that so far, controlling the clock here inside that first quarter.
So here is the Lions offense on the field for the first time today. It's going to be a give on first down, and that run play going nowhere. Sammy Ikegwanu was one of the first in there. That'll make it second down and long there as he gets the TFL.
Sammy, he is the Trench Trophy winner last year in Section 6 in high school. That is given out to the most outstanding lineman in Western New York. That was your winner right there, Sammy. Was no doubt a leader on that Lackawanna team that you and I called many games for that Lackawanna team as well. The kid's the real deal, and I'll tell you, if he finds any sort of opening, he's going to take advantage of it and does it right there in the first play.
Eric Harris, the ball carrier on first down. The quarterback is Elijah Outlaw, and he is going to roll to his right here on second down. Now plants his feet, fires, and throws an absolute seed there for a first down, finding Antoine Blackman.
Great throw right there by Nassau. And you could see they gave him the time to be able to throw the ball. In fact, on that last one, if you watch, we just talked about Sammy. Sammy's getting double teamed right there, so he couldn't get access. Part of that double team helped them give the time that they needed to do to throw that ball to the far outside.
Elijah Outlaw on the season coming into this game, 38 for 68, 322 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And now there goes the handoff on first down, and again, the ECC defensive line wins the battle in the trenches right there. And who else but Sammy Ikegwanu in there making the play.
And what he did you see how when he breaks through the line, he came from behind that play, grabbed the runner from behind and pulled him back to him to be able to make sure he couldn't get into that hole. And a great job there by Sammy to make another big play. And so far, I'll tell you, they're coming up in the run game right here for ECC to make some big stops.
2nd down and 11. Outlaw pointing out something he sees there in the Cats defense. Bobbled the snap a little bit, but reels it in. Now he's going to roll to his left, and he throws on the move. It is caught, and his tight end goes hurtling there forward for a nice gain there. Play made by Justin Betts.
I'll tell you, it's kind of the same thing happening on both sides of the ball right here. Both defenses are doing great on the run defense, but it's been the passing where they're giving their quarterbacks enough time to be able to make throws and to be able to get the ball down the field.
1st and 10 from their own 49. Here's the give to Eric Harris, looking for some room to roam. Gained a yard there, got out to midfield before the defense converges on him.
And another run right there stopped pretty much for a 1-yard gain out there. We haven't seen anything on the run game here yet for Nassau, but where all the success definitely has happened has been in that passing game. What ECC is going to have to find a way is to get into that backfield when they're going to go ahead and pass the ball.
Eric Harris today playing in his 15th collegiate game. 2nd down and 9 from midfield. Here is Outlaw, finds Harris leaking out of the backfield, trying to make a couple men miss. And he'll gain a few there to bring up 3rd down for the Lions.
Great defense right there by the ECC. The secondary got up very quickly to make sure that doesn't turn into a big play.
Douglas Hunt, Noah Irby in there on the tackle.
Both 2 local players here. Irby, a Lancaster player. Hunt, another Cheektowaga player.
3rd down upcoming here for the Lions coming into this game, converting at just under 45% on 3rd downs this year. And an early timeout is going to be called by the Lions. So we'll take one as well here with 3:38 left in the 1st quarter. Back after this on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Explore your next idea. Blaze new trails. Imagine new ways to do things. What will you do next?
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. Late stages of the 1st quarter. It's 3rd down for Nassau. Outlaw drops back to pass and throws. That one is incomplete. Boy, dropping back into coverage there. The defensive lineman making the play, Jaden Ransom.
I'll tell you, on that catch, too, you almost wonder, did he feel the pressure on him? There were two guys there ready to make that hit. You wonder if he almost felt a little bit of that pressure from those guys in there. But even though that ECC bent a little bit on that passing defense, comes up big right there, and they're going to get a chance right now to keep moving this ball and keep that time of possession on their side of the field.
Solomon Dakota, number 26, was the intended target. Here's the punt. And it's going to take a couple bounces. Now it's fielded at the 10-yard line and returned up to around the 20 before going out of bounds. So we'll see the Cats offense for their third possession. They were able to take the opening possession of the game in for 6. And after a special teams turnover by Nassau, they got gifted the ball pretty much inside the red zone, but that drive stalled out, and then they missed on a field goal. But now they have it 1st and 10 from the 21. Here's the snap on 1st and 10. Willoughby pulls it out, throws, and it is caught up to the 35-yard line. It's Reginald Hoax III.
Great pass right there. Like that, when you see that slant coming right back into the middle of the field, hits him in stride right there for that first down. Boy, I'll tell you, Willoughby, you said, is kind of coming off a little bit of an injury right here. Looks like he hasn't been injured at all the way he's been out here playing and throwing the ball. He's looked very, very good here to start off this game.
He looks as sharp as he did the last time I saw him in week 2 against Stevens Tech. 1st and 10 from the 35. Handoff going up the middle, not much room to roam there. Or the ball carrier makes it 2nd down, but Willoughby looking to have a bounce back game here. He's been held under 200 yards passing in each of the last 2 games he's played. As you mentioned, did not play last week against Hocking, but he's been very efficient this season. Coming into this game, completing 63% of his passes, just shy of 1,000 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, make it 9 now with his touchdown toss today to Byron Williams. Only 1 interception. And you've got movement up front here on 2nd down.
And you could really look back to that other game versus Hudson Valley, and Hudson Valley has been known to be the top team in this division for the last couple of years here. So that is a very tough game that they knew they were going to get into. But I'll tell you, if they're going to have any shot to advancing and get to the playoffs, that young man has got to be healthy, because they know they're going to need his arm to be able to get him to the postseason and as well as to have success inside that postseason.
First penalty of the day against either team goes against the Cats. They've been penalized 69 times this season, that being number 70. 2nd down at 15, 3 receivers, 1 back, 1 tight end. Here's the snap. Willoughby, 3-step drop. Now climbing the pocket, fires. That one is caught, and they'll get back some of the lost penalty yardage and then some there with the completion to Troy Singleton Burnett.
He threw it like a cannon on that one. You see how that came out of his hand, just the velocity on this pass. See that? He just gets it off with people in his face. Great velocity. Still almost gets himself a 1st down, but he really is getting the ball out of his hand very quickly and getting it into the receivers that are open, because there has not been a lot of time to be able to get these guys open. So the fact that he's getting that ball out of his hand so quickly has been a reason for the success.
3rd down and short. Willoughby in the shotgun. Same personnel grouping. He takes the snap. Now he's going to loft this one down the far sideline, and that is over the head of everybody.
It looked like there was some sort of, I don't want to say holding there, but you could see some sort of confusion over there, as well as some of the players kind of tangled up over there. Right about the 40-yard line is where they were tangled up, and that he wasn't able to break through to be able to get that deep ball.
Gavin Carney on to punt. The closest person to the ball there was the defensive back on that play for Nassau, number 31, Cedric Jean-Pierre. So ECC, after scoring on the opening drive, have not been able to muster much. That time just one first down and out, and now here's the punt. It's going to take a Cats bounce and roll to a stop at the 29-yard line.
Great job by Kearney getting that off, because it was Curtis Ailey right there, the defensive end, that got through, almost blocks it. If he doesn't get that off very quickly the way he did, that would have been a block punt right there.
39 seconds left here in quarter number one. Cats, their first game back here after a 4-game road trip. Now that defense back out on the field. Looks like 3 receivers, 1 back, 1 tight end now for Nassau. Here's the snap. Elijah Outlaw. He's going to throw this one quick to the flats on the far side. And now there is a flag down over along the far sideline.
Got to think that's in the area of some sort of holding right there.
We'll wait and see here, as the early indication is a hold against the Lions. Not a team that gets penalized a whole lot. Coming into this game through their first 4, only penalized 10 times for 91 yards through 4 games.
Wow. That really is very limited on penalties. Some coach would be happy with that. He just in one game to only have 4 penalties, never mind in 4 games.
So that puts them behind the sticks here for this first down, as Elijah Outlaw getting his guy set here, takes the snap, drops back, now drifting, and he's just going to have to heave this one out of bounds off the back foot there, trying to buy some time there in the pocket, but the pressure closed in and forces him to live to play another down here.
Actually, I thought it was a great play by him to be able to get that out of bounds and right near where there was a receiver to make sure there wasn't some sort of intentional grounding that was called there. I thought it was actually a great play by him to be able to make sure it wasn't an interception or not a negative play right there. Good job to make that happen.
Now one final tick here, 1 second left in this first quarter. It is second down and long. 4 wide in the pattern. Here's Outlaw. That snap a little off the mark, though. He corrals it with one hand, and now he's going to try and take off, but he gets taken down from behind. A short gain there, but that brings us to the end of quarter number 1. Time to make the switch here to the second. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Nassau Community College Lions when we come back here on Western New York Athletics.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. Start of the second quarter coming up here between the Nassau Community College Lions and the Erie Community College Cats. Cats coming into this game 4-2, having dropped their last 2 games. Nassau 3-1 as they hustle to get back on the ball here. The defense wasn't in place, and now just heaving it deep. That one is incomplete. Nobody in the area for Nassau. And a flag comes down. But, boy, that was quite the sequence there.
You had to see the hits on the line as they ran up to the line. That's why I was asking to see if there was a replay right there. But you saw as they were trying to get back, some of the defensive linemen just really took it to the line right there of Nassau. It was some big hits out there. But they really caught them entirely off guard.
And there's offsetting penalties. And we'll take a look at that again.
Let's see that. Did you see right there what I was talking about? Even though they weren't ready to get there as a team, you saw some of those defensive linemen got up and really just laid it to the line right there.
The left guard got reverse pancaked. He got put on his backside there. But the play doesn't count with the offsetting penalties. There was an illegal shift on the offense, and I believe they got roughing the passer on ECC. So it's still third down. We'll replay it here. And they'll go 4 wide. Third and long. Here is Outlaw, the snap, and he's just going to fire this one quickly. It's incomplete, nearly intercepted. Looks like him and his receivers on that side not on the same page. We take another look.
Looks like that was Mark Rogers over there who almost comes up with that interception.
Just off the fingertips there of Rogers. So crisis averted for Nassau. They will send out the punting unit here. And that one just got it off, and now it is going to take a bounce. It is fielded, and a short return there. We don't have a 16 on the roster, but in games past, 16 has been worn by Jackson Moritz. Now back come the Cats offense, who outside of that first drive have not been able to muster much here in this game. Although they do have the benefit of great field position to start out this drive. And that was indeed Jackson Moritz on the punt return.
Former Maryville High School quarterback. He also will be playing baseball here at ECC as well.
Played baseball for the Flyers as well. Here's the first down give, trying the right side of the offensive formation there. It was Warburton on the tote. It's like gained a yard on the play. Just underway here in the second quarter. Second down and long. 2 receivers. Here's Willoughby, the play fake, and now pressure coming off the edge, and he just ducks down there. And that brings up third down and long as the pressure came in immediately. That was Tanner Hines. The nice rep there coming off the left side of the offensive formation.
It looked like, obviously he went down, he could feel the pressure. I thought there was a little bit of room that I thought he was going to try to step up into that pocket in right there and try to make a big play. But when you've got it coming in, it collapsing real quick, you want to avoid the injury and make sure that you've got an opportunity now for a first down, because this is still a makeable first down. You didn't make it so it was out of control or turned the ball over.
Third down and long. ECC is 0 for their last 3 third down attempts and not making things any easier for themselves here. They're going to set up a screen to Warburton. Warburton's got some room here, but he gets stacked up and taken down just a yard or 2 short of the line to gain. So now a decision coming here, although there is a flag down, so we'll check that. It is in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, they already said it was a hold that's going to go against ECC, so that will come all the way back right here. I do like the call of the screen right there, especially with the way you've seen them get some nice penetration into the backfield, especially on that last play. Take advantage of that aggression that they get into the backfield and then turn it into a positive for you. I thought that screen was a great call right there by ECC.
No doubt about it. On third down and long, you know those pass rushers have their ears pinned back, wanting to tee off on the quarterback. So it's always a great way to neutralize those pass rushers with a screen call. Now they're going to have to reach even deeper into the playbook here on third down and long. As I mentioned, 0 for their last 3 third down attempts. are the Cats. They're going to come out with 4 wide. Here's the snap. Willoughby, the short drop. He's got all day to hang in the pocket, now bailing and trying to make something happen. Rolling to his left and finally gets hammered down there.
Wow,
Lucas
that was a hit right there.
Chang just leveled Willoughby here as we'll get another look at it.
He did seem to lead with just his arms, though.
So once again, the punting unit comes out in Gavin Carney. And this one going to be dropped around the 40-yard line, and then it's scooped up by Solomon Dakota, and he gets taken down there after a short gain. So almost another special teams blunder for Nassau. They've turned it over once today on a special teams mishap, but able to avoid disaster there, and the offense retakes the field.
I'll tell you, the one thing you may have thought coming into this game is that this was going to be more of an offensive game between both sides because they can both put up points. But it's been about the defense here today by both sides of the ball, coming up with big plays and really stalling drives out for each one of these teams.
And certainly, I imagine that was a point of emphasis for ECC coming into this game. As here's the first down play, Elijah Outlaw gives to Eric Harris, and just nowhere to go. Delshawn Taylor all over it.
You know, that's also another name here that we've talked about in Western New York. This is an all Western New York player right there that was with the Bennett Tigers is where he comes from. And I'll tell you, this young man has known state championships, and he's known to play against some big teams getting ready for this game. So this is a name also on that defensive line that could come up really big. This is kind of an all-Western New York defensive line right here for ECC.
And he's really stepped up his game this year. Just in the last 3 games alone, he has 11 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. Here's Outlaw on second down. He is forced to roll to his left now. Fires cross body. That one is incomplete. Had a couple different people in the area, both Cats and Lions alike, and luckily that one falls harmlessly to the turf. It's going to be third down and long upcoming for the Lions. Looked like Tito Ruiz was the intended target there.
That was like a thrown ball that could have been intercepted, could have been a completed pass, could have been tipped. There's been so many things that could have happened and didn't, as you said, as it falls and hits the turf.
Third down and long upcoming for Nassau. I mentioned the woes on third down for ECC in this game. Nassau has not fared much better, 0 for 2 so far on third down. They'll get another look at it here as they go 4 wide. Outlaw in the shotgun. Here's the snap. He's going to roll to his left. Now fires. This one is caught. Can he get to the marker? Looks like going to be just short there. The reception that time made by Antoine Blackman.
Got to think they're going to go for this right here, especially with just the short yardage, and you're going to see that happen right here. But that was a great job as he rolls out to the left right there, finds the open man, but the rollout really helps him get that extra time that he needs for that receiver to get wide open and be able to hit them. Almost for a first down, and that's but give them another try right here inside ECC territory now.
Only 1 fourth down attempt on the season coming into this game, which they did convert. Here's the give, and it looks like Eric Harris is going to convert this one as well.
This is going to be close here, Tanner, especially where that outside judge had come in.
Looks like they signal first down.
The one thing you want to look at is the line judge that is right now walking back towards the ECC sideline. And where he was running up, it was hard to tell whether it was going to be a first down or not.
1st and 10. Here is Outlaw. That one gets batted down at the line. Yearwood with the deflection there to bring up second down.
Big job. You always want to teach your linemen, too. You're not going to get in there every single time, but if you see the pass go off, get those hands up in the air, jump up in the air, do something to cause havoc to be able to knock that ball down still.
Yearwood had a huge game in their last outing against Hocking, had 10 total tackles, 2.5 TFLs here. As the second down play, it's complete over the middle to Betts. There is a flag down in the offensive backfield.
That's that weird spot, right? That could be a holding, could be a couple different calls.
And it is a hold against the Lions. It's their second penalty of the day.
Which is already higher than the average in the last 4 games, right? So a couple penalties right here stopping the drives for both of the teams have had some penalties. If you think about it, remember on the last drive for ECC, that screen play to Warburton comes back right there, which could have been an opportunity for a first down play. And the same thing here, this first down play wiped out because of a flag as well.
A second down and long. Coming up here for Nassau. Here is Outlaw. Spins away from the pressure. Now drifting back and just has to heave this one out of bounds.
They're looking for a flag here right now, Tanner. They're saying, and there it goes. It did not reach the line of scrimmage, which is the reason for this flag being thrown, and that's why you saw everybody pointing.
Nor did it look like he had a receiver in the area either.
Well, he rolled out of the pocket right there, so that you're taking away that receiver portion. What you're doing is you've got to get back to the line of scrimmage, which as you look is the 41-yard line. That ball does not get to the 41-yard line right there.
They get him there for intentional grounding, and now they got quite a ways to go here on third down. It is going to be
Yeah, the 4 right there. You can see it's, boy, that was one heck of a penalty. Now they're calling it, right? So I guess the yardage right there is coming off of where he threw the ball. That's where they're taking this penalty from. They're not taking it from the line of scrimmage.
There we go, third down, and third down and a country mile here. That's a lot of yardage. They have to get to the other side of the field. 3rd and 47 to be exact.
You got a lot of people are trying to understand the whole play right here, especially we hear the coaches in the Nassau booth right next to us, and you can see they don't understand or question a lot of it as well.
And they're just going to check it off here on 3rd down and 47, and there was nothing doing on that play.
Jameer Land, number 54, is the one in on that tackle. And another Bennett player right there that comes here to ECC, comes up with a big open field tackle. Those are so important with the game because if you don't make that tackle, you see he had open turf from there and probably could have gotten a major yards if he doesn't make that open field tackle by Land.
Here's the punt, and Moritz will let it go along the far sideline. So the defense is prevailing here early on in this one. 7:47 left to go in the second quarter. ECC holding on to a 7-0 lead.
Tanner, you really could say right now is how important now was that first drive for ECC, especially the way we've seen these defenses settle in the way that we have. Points may be coming at a premium right now, the way the defenses are playing. So it just shows the importance of getting off to the fast start that was needed for ECC. And again, winds are picking up. You can see the flags right now blowing. They're at the back of ECC right now. This is the time for them to take advantage of it, especially with the wind at their back.
First down and 10. It is going to be a pitch to Darius Fleming, trying the right side of the formation there, and gets taken down for a negligible gain. And to add insult to injury, there is a flag down.
They already said it was going to be a hold right there, so you could see, actually, you could see the ref right now saying, yeah, he grabbed him right here, and he was showing the actual grab to the player as to what happened.
Third Cats penalty of the day, and that will push them back here. But if you're a Cats fan, you have to like what you've seen from this defense. It's a defense that has been outscored 84-21 over the last 2 games. So having a nice bounce back here in this one. First down and long, 4 receivers in the pattern. Willoughby takes the snap, short drop, now rifles this one. It is incomplete. Looks like him and his intended target, Tommy Hunt, there, not on the same page.
Now what you're doing because of that penalty, you're actually putting ECC into throwing downs kind of every single time. So you could see if you're Nassau, you're out there to defend the pass right now and really make sure that you're causing havoc right now in the passing game. You've got to be able to adjust, but that's what penalties can do. It can make it so much harder because the other team knows what you're going to do.
Dwayne Schulters was the defensive back in coverage on that last play. Now a deep drop from Willoughby. Climbing the pocket, rifles one over the middle. The pass is caught and taken down around the 45-yard line. The tackle made, or the reception made by Nigel Rossman. But there is a flag down. And it is against the defense.
Personal foul penalty. They're saying hit to the head right there is what it was. So now you're going to add 15 yards to the end of the play, which is going to give them a first down right here.
Uncharacteristic here from Nassau with the penalties.
That's the third one. Am I correct right there, Tanner?
I could very well be wrong, but I had 5.
Oh, okay, so 5. So they've already outdone what they've done in all 4 of the last games right here inside this one. That's right. I forgot about. I wasn't adding the penalty in for the throw that didn't make it to the line of scrimmage.
First down and 10 now in enemy territory for ECC. Here is Willoughby, and he's looking to set up a screen there. It is incomplete. Trying to get it to Jarrell Green, but unable to connect.
I'll tell you, that was almost intercepted right there. And if he intercepts that ball, he was taking it all the way because he was coming up to that ball to try to be able to make the hit or the interception, and unfortunately wasn't able to make it for either one if you're a Nassau Community College fan.
Second down and 10 from the Lions 39. Here's the snap. Willoughby. Short drop. Now trying to climb the pocket, and he throws. This one is caught over on the far side of the field by Tristan Park. And Park gets it to the 34. It's going to be a gain of 5, and it sets up third down, where ECC has struggled mightily in this game. 1 for 5, including 0 for their last 4.
I'll tell you right here, you are going to get 2 shots at this. So this doesn't have to be an automatic pass play right here. You could possibly run the ball to see if you can set something up for your 4th down play.
Darius Fleming is the back. He and Warburton have been sharing the load here in the backfield today. Third down, Willoughby. There goes the handoff to Darius Fleming, and no 4th down necessary. Fleming powers ahead for the first down.
But at least that's what that gives you the opportunity to do. It gives you the opportunity to still call the run play because you know you've got another down to be able to try to get that first down. So a great call right there by ECC, like the run right up the middle, and you could see the power run where he fought for the first down yardage.
And certainly gives the offense, allows them to breathe a sigh of relief there. Their first third down conversion since the opening drive. First down and 10 now inside the 30-yard line. Here's the snap. Willoughby, looks like a miscommunication there. He was expecting to hand it off. Now he just has to duck out of bounds and take a loss there on the play.
Yeah, Tanner, I saw the same exact thing. He was looking for his running back, and he wasn't there. So a good job by Willoughby to say is, listen, I still have to try to turn this into something, and at least didn't make this a big negative play. Because how many times do we see when some sort of communication happens, it becomes a bad play out there for you? Willoughby does a good job of making sure that doesn't happen. You know, when you started this game off, you said that it's kind of we know this is a home game for ECC. I'll tell you, at least when you're leaving home and campus, you're not going very far, at least where we are over at Will South versus ECC.
Second down, play fake, Willoughby. Now he's forced to roll to his right and gets taken out of bounds there along the far sideline, and there are numerous flags down here in the offensive backfield.
And Tanner, they have broken ground over there at ECC for their football field, so that will be there next year, hopefully, that they're going to have their field over at the ECC North Campus. Our producer, Tim Garner, just said is they're actually putting the turf down this week, which is, fantastic. Is there a possibility that even if they make the playoffs, you know what I mean, who knows if there's a possibility of being able to go back on campus?
Perhaps, only time will tell, but still got some business to take care of here in this one. Going to be third down and long here.
And obviously, we don't have a lot of the stats, but boy, the stat I would look at inside this game is time of possession, because the time of possession has really been all ECC so far.
Here's the snap for Willoughby. Hangs in the pocket, now throws near side. It's broken up, batted up into the air. And luckily for the Cats, it falls harmlessly to the turf there.
Wayne Schulters was the first one to get the tip ball right there as he's trying to get help from one of his teammates to bring it down, but he was the one that broke that one up and the first one to get in there and make that happen.
Willoughby was targeting the 6'4" Kylie Scott Harper there. That one falls incomplete with the good coverage. And timeout is taken by the Lions. We'll step aside, take a timeout as well. Back after this on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Back here from Will South High School, it is fourth down here, late stages of this first half. Here is Carney, gets away the punt, and it's going to take a Cats bounce and be stopped at the 1. Great special teams play there by the Cats. It is down at the 1-yard line by Douglas Hunt.
Tanner, I want to say it's at the half-yard line. Look how close that is. I want to say the ball is almost touching the end zone right there. You see that, where they actually placed it?
They are about as backed up as you can be.
I'll tell you, great job there by Hunt. And Hunt has been an electric player for Cleveland Hill last year. And I'll tell you, that's another kid that could get into the backfield and do some special things right there. But really delivering there for them on special teams. We talk about it. You got to win the special teams game to win the game, and that's a big play right there.
So here we go. First down from the inch line, and they're going to throw it quickly here. It is incomplete, trying to get themselves some breathing room, but that one does not go according to plan, as Antoine Blackman was the intended target.
What ECC wants to do, if they're going to keep passing, if they could come up big passing defense here right now, make sure that they keep them down there. You could be talking about incredible field position with more than enough time to still do something here inside the first half.
And now they're going to come out under center here on 2nd down and 10. Here's the snap. Outlaw. The give to Harris, and he's able to bounce this one outside, and he's got some running room. Eric Harris, his best run of the day down the sideline, finally gets pushed out of bounds.
That is a huge run. I understand it's a great run, period, but to get out of that area right now, to make sure you've got room, now you've got an opportunity to really put some points back up on the board with time and now confidence and to be able to push things your way. But what a great job as he just goes right down that sideline and shows how fast he is.
So just what the doctor ordered there for Eric Harris. 1st down and 10 from the 40-yard line. They're going to stick under center here on this 1st down. There goes the handoff to Harris once again. Bowling his way forward, gets up past the 45.
So far, the most electric that Nassau Community College has been on the run. They really have been stopped in the run game right there. So to have these two runs right here have shown some success right now of the run game. Does ECC make some sort of adjustment and do something like they were doing in the first quarter?
Nassau's not going to make any adjustment here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to stick under center here. Give goes to Eric Harris once again, and he's taken down right at the 50. There is a flag down in the offensive backfield. And it is going to be a hold against Nassau. Much to the ire of the Lions coaching staff, it is indeed a hold against them, so we'll be backed up here on 2nd down.
And again, what have we seen for both teams? It's been penalties that have really caused them not be able to move the ball for 1st downs. That's been something that both of these teams at halftime is going to go out there and address, because both teams have had an issue with flags that have been killing drives.
2nd down and long here. They go back to shotgun, and here comes Outlaw. He takes a deep drop, now heaves this one over the middle off his back foot, and that is easily intercepted there. It is taken away by Jamal Drummond. Now on the run back, Drummond throwing a stiff arm, and he is going to be taken down at around the 47-yard line. So big play there for the Cats defense. Jamal Drummond comes up with the takeaway.
I was looking, one of the defenders was kind of putting his arms out like something was wrong. I was waiting to see if there was some sort of flag right there. But I got to be honest with you, this is a ball that should not have been thrown, period. I know there was pressure up in his face, but you can't just throw the ball up there like that. That's a ball that probably should not have been thrown, or be able to find something toward the sidelines instead of right to the middle of the field.
Jamal Drummond, his 2nd interception of the season. And it's the 2nd takeaway of the game for the Cats. Here's Willoughby climbing the pocket. Now he's just going to check this one off to Jarrell Green. Get the ball in the hands of one of your playmakers and let him work. He'll pick up a decent gain there on 1st down.
Does a good job of getting out of bounds. You want to stop the clock. Now you've got to do a little bit of clock management on this drive to see if you can get some points on that board for yourself now.
And how about, I'll tell you the thing that impressed me about that play. Seems like a rather unassuming 7-yard gain or so, but how about the pocket presence there from Willoughby? Just being able to climb the pocket. You know he wanted to try and take the deep shot there. He's trying to buy himself some time. but that just shows the maturation of a young quarterback right there. Didn't have it, so he just took the check down there and got themselves in a favorable position on second down.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that, Tanner. And at the same time, what I have liked from the line of ECC is when they go into the passing game, they really have done well with pass protection out here today, giving Willoughby time for some shots. So, and he has taken advantage. Anytime he's had some time in that pocket, he's taken advantage of it.
And this drive, of course, brought to fruition by Jamal Drummond, coming up with the interception on the last Nassau possession offensively, his second of the season. Last year, he had 6 interceptions. They had 14 as a team last year, 6 of those courtesy of Jamal Drummond. He's got his second interception of this season. Had his best game of the year 2 weeks ago in the loss to Hudson Valley Community College. Had 4 total tackles, a TFL, and his first interception of the season. You got movement up front here. They don't snap it. Now they do. Willoughby the handoff. This is to Torrey Anderson. Broke 1 tackle and then gets dragged down there after a short gain. You surprised they didn't snap it there to try and get the free play?
I was. I actually was very surprised. In fact, I was waiting to say something because I thought a flag was going to go up because they were gonna. But when everything stopped right there, you could see is, okay, they're obviously going to go ahead and get the play. But guess what? It doesn't matter. You get the first down anyway. So they did it on their terms and how they wanted to do it.
ECC a minute 30 here. All 3 of their timeouts. They can still be fairly deliberate here as they try and execute this 2-minute drill. Here's the drop from Willoughby. Now rifles one over the middle, got a man, and he's still going. Breaking a tackle and taking it all the way is Reginald Hoax.
You never stop your legs. It doesn't matter where the hit is. And if somebody's going to try to hit you up high, you can absorb that hit and keep going, and that's exactly what he did to be able to get in the end zone. That's a great play from Willoughby right over there to his receiver, Hoax, and then he takes it in the rest of the way, and he did it because he kept his legs going and stayed up on his feet.
It's a 43-yard strike from Noah Willoughby to Reginald Hoax, and that makes it 13-0, pending the PAT. Snap down, kick on the way, and it is good. That time doing the kicking duties, it was Gabriel Kemp there, the kicker. So now with 1:10 left in the first half, the Cats have jumped out to a 14-0 lead here as we take another look at the touchdown.
See the time he's got? He's got great time right there. Hits his man, takes the contact, and then runs it in the rest of the way. A great job right there for ECC. You know, Tanner, I got to say, coming into this game, you would have thought, okay, there was going to be a lot of points that could be put up on the board just based upon like opponents and what we've seen so far by these teams and their schedules. But I'll tell you, I have been more impressed right now what we've seen from the defensive side from ECC. You're talking about a possibility of pitching a shutout here inside that first half, and that's something you would not have thought of if you looked at what you saw, what's happening up to this point in the season by both of these teams.
No doubt about it. I mentioned this is a defense that came into this game reeling. They had been outscored 84-21 over the last 2 games. 84 points, the most points they've given up in a 2-game stretch since the final game of the 23-24 season and first game of the 24-25 season, where they gave up a combined 98 points over that stretch as this kickoff goes out of bounds here.
That's where I'm going to tell you, Tanner, where time of possession has come into play, because this defense has gotten some rest out here today. They're not having to be on the field constantly if your team doesn't put up points or sustain drives that are out here. So to me, that is so huge that they're winning the time of possession game, giving that defense a little bit of a rest so they could come and be as good as they've been out here today.
And now they're just going to need one more stop here. 1:10 left in this first half, but with the kickoff going out of bounds, that'll give Nassau a little bit of help here. That ball goes up to the 40-yard line. Here's the snap. Outlaw is going to heave this one deep down the far sideline. It is incomplete. Now the flags come out as some of the defensive backs put their hands on their heads in astonishment there, not thinking that ball was catchable.
Yeah, they're going to call a passing interference right here against ECC. And I'll tell you, when I got it looking right there, it looked like they were stride for stride there. Something may have happened earlier, but 2 flags come in as both of the refs saw and called a passing interference here.
That's going to be the 5th penalty of the day on ECC. Now on first down, another flag comes in. And it's going to be a false start against Nassau. Their 7th of the day. Now first and 15 from midfield, 1:05 left to go, 1 timeout remaining for the Lions. Here's Outlaw, dropping back to a pass. Now fires this one over the middle. It's tipped up into the air and incomplete.
That was Shamir Land who got his hand on that and be able to tip that up and almost caused what could be an interception. That's exactly what you want your guys to do, to tip something up in the air and make something happen. And Land almost comes up with a fantastic play right there for his team, and still is considered a fantastic play, though, with being able to knock that down.
Luckily for the Lions, the safety, Romeo Kidd, that ball just, he was a few steps behind there, unable to run underneath that one and potentially pick it off. Here is Outlaw, fires this one to the flats. It's caught by Eric Harris. He's got a cavalcade of blockers ahead, and he is going to rumble forward for a first down.
Yeah, I was waiting to see. They had a couple of defensive players they were giving a rest to, and with literally a minute left in there, I was shocked that some of these guys weren't out on the field. And the 2 that I really were looking at was Ikeganawu and also Deshaun Taylor weren't on that drive right there, and they've just come in that game to try to bring a stop right here for the defense.
First down and 10, 4 receivers in the pattern. Outlaw forced to roll out to his left, and now he's going to turn it upfield, and he's got some room to roam. Outlaw ducks out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Does a great job of also stopping that clock with 34 seconds as they're trying to get points on the board right here for them. Big drive right here, and to be able to move the ball both by the run and the pass has really been effective so far on this drive.
Elijah Outlaw, that's a big part of his game. He can throw the ball, he can run it as well. He came into this game with 5 total touchdowns, 3 of those coming on the ground. First down and 10. Here's the snap. Outlaw, the short drop, now fires this one over the middle. It is incomplete. Solomon Dakota had, it looked like Mark Rogers beat there, but that throw just a little bit off the mark.
Yeah, it was good pressure, though, there by ECC. As you could see, they got in his face. He had to get that ball off and probably wanted to get it, just hold on to it for another half a second to be able to get that completed. But because of the defense there of ECC, he didn't get that extra time he wanted.
Second down and 10 from the 14-yard line. 31 seconds left. Still 1 timeout left for Nassau, so they can throw it over the middle here at any point. 4 receivers, 2 on either side of the formation. Here's the snap. Outlaw pressured. Now he has to throw this one kind of sidearm there on the delivery, and it is incomplete. Looking for Solomon Dakota once again.
Yeah, on that play, too, Outlaw got knocked down. You see he came up off the turf right there and a little bit slower over there to the sideline. But you can see the difference. Like when I said to you, okay, look, Sammy and Taylor are now going into the game. Look at the difference of the penetration into the backfield since that's happened. They have gotten great penetration deep into that backfield to help be able to bring this third down and an opportunity to see if they can make a stop and keep them from not getting into the end zone.
And now ECC spends their first timeout of the half, 27 seconds left. We'll keep it right here as we're about to hit halftime here momentarily. Anyways, ECC up 14-0 here, able to score from 43 yards out on their last possession. Noah Willoughby finding Reginald Hoax. His first touchdown as a Cat, at least in the receiving game. He had a 100-yard kick return touchdown earlier in the season, but his first touchdown as a receiver, and ECC up by 2 possessions here, trying to hold on to that in the late stages of this first half.
Yeah, big stop right here. They definitely want to see if they can keep Nassau off the scoreboard. Should have an opportunity. They will be in field goal range as well, though. So if they don't get this, you got to think that they could easily be able to try to kick a field goal right here. It's not going to be an extremely long one.
Third down and 10. With that in mind, though, you certainly want to avoid any negative plays here. Don't want to take a sack or anything of that nature. As Outlaw trots back out onto the field here for this third down and long. Adjusting the formation a bit here, and penalty flag comes out. He's going to double back to his right. Now he's going to throw this one deep. It is caught!
Yeah, I think this is coming back.
I agree.
I think this is going to be a procedure penalty that's going to go against Nassau.
Illegal shift.
Yep.
Yeah, there was still some movement going on there. They had 2 players moving at the snap, so that's going to wipe that play off the board, and instead it'll be third down and long, as that's a back-breaking penalty to take right there for the Lions.
I'll tell you, that penalty was called really early. It was called as the play, before it even came into the quarterback's hands, that flag was already down.
It was a great play there, the improvisation and then the throw, but unfortunately wiped away by penalty. Now they just get the snap off here. That one is thrown up and incomplete. Again, Outlaw targeting Solomon Dakota. It's incomplete. It is fourth down with 14 seconds left. And it looks like the field goal unit will come on.
And this is no gimme field goal as well. I mean, it still is a nice little kick right here. Let's see what they're going to do.
It is Matias Perez Herrera on for the attempt. Snap down, and the kick is blocked, and now a chance to scoop it up here. No Jordan Davis moment here like he had against the Rams earlier this season in the NFL, but that one is blocked. It looked like Delshawn Taylor got his hands on it there as they're celebrating with him. So the first half shutout stays intact. As we take another look at the blocked field goal here.
And I'll tell you how important now that when we pointed out when they came into the game was Taylor and Ikeganao important to be on that field, because the minute they got on that field, there wasn't any more first downs, there wasn't any more opportunities for them to move the ball forward because of those two coming in and get the penetration the way they did. That's how important those two mean to that defensive line right there.
They are certainly a dynamic duo up front, no doubt about it, and it looks like with this 14-point lead, the Cats are going to be content to take a knee here, and they've got to take a timeout. With 8 seconds left. And boy, what a difference a week makes, huh? Last week, without your starting quarterback, you take a 42-7 loss, your second straight loss. And now back here, looks like a whole new team.
But it does show you what healthy players can do for a team, too. And knowing that your quarterback is healthy and throwing the ball the way he is a huge uplift to any single team that's out there. And obviously, ECC has taken that uplift to both sides of the ball.
So now, after the timeout with 8 seconds left. The Cats will be content kneeling this one out. Camiso gets the honors there. And that does it for half number one. What an opening 30 minutes of football here for ECC. They lead the Nassau Community College Lions 14-0 here at the end of one. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll recap that first half and get you set for the second here on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well, I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYAthletics.com. You can link me later.
WNYAthletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Are you an AD struggling to keep up with the social media needs of your teams? Check out Box Out Sports, a platform used by colleges and high schools all across the country. It's a true plug-and-play system where in less than 30 seconds you have access to over 1,000 templates that include your colors, your logos, and your information to highlight your student athletes. If you're interested in learning more, go to boxoutsports.com today.
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. It is halftime here between the Erie Community College Cats and the Nassau Community College Lions right now, and the Cats lead 14-0 here. We'll, while we have some time here, recap some of the highlights, take a look at those from the first half. Early on in the game, Willoughby on a third down, able to find Jarrell Green. Big time pitch and catch right there for a big third down conversion on their first drive of the game. And then a couple plays later, Noah Willoughby from 7 yards out finds Byron Williams. That's his second receiving touchdown of the season. And that made it 7-0 in favor of Erie Community College. And then on the ensuing kickoff, fumble there, recovered by Hicks, taken down at the 20-yard line. So that set up ECC with good field position. Unfortunately for them, they were unable to convert. And then here's a big-time throw from Elijah Outlaw, finds Antoine Blackman for a big-time conversion there. A nice little cross-body throw, jumping over a defender there, the tight end Justin Betts. And later on, ECC with possession. Willoughby climbing the pocket, fires a seed there to his man, Singleton Burnett. Then next possession for Nassau, that ball over the head of everybody there. Not a lot of scoring to be had after that first ECC drive, as the score would indicate. And then there's another one nearly intercepted by Mark Rogers. And we throw it back to ECC. Willoughby takes a shotgun snap, dancing around in the pocket, trying to create some space. But Lucas Chang, comes up and says, "Not today," drops him for a sack. Then back to Nassau. Eric Harris not had the same success that he had last week. Delshawn Taylor making a big-time play there. And then how about special teams? Douglas Hunt pins him on the 1-inch line. Great punt by Carney. And then a nice play to down it, but Eric Harris would provide the Lions offense with some breathing room here with a nice little 35 or so yard scamper. Gets pushed out of bounds, gets some breathing room, but unfortunately this drive would end in disaster for the Lions. Heaving it up there is Outlaw, and Jamal Drummond comes up with his second interception of the season, 8th of his career. Gets a nice little run back there for the second takeaway of the game for the Cats. And unlike the last time, they would make good on it here as Noah Willoughby, 43-yard strike, finds Reginald Hoax, keeps those feet moving, breaks a tackle, and scores his first career receiving touchdown as a Cat with 1:10 left to go in the second quarter. That made it 14-0. And then here, towards the end of the half, Outlaw drifting, improvising, doubles back to his right, fires it up to Solomon Dakota, who makes the catch for the touchdown, but it was negated due to an illegal shift penalty. So they settle for 3, or so they think. Delshawn Taylor says no, gets the blocked field goal to preserve the first half shutout, and that brings us to where we are now, 14-0. So let's bring in my color man, Tom Prince here. Tom, just what a showing from the Cats in that first half. Obviously the defense, they won the battle of the trenches. They were able to neutralize that run game, able to get some pressure on the quarterback, Outlaw, force him in to a couple mistakes. You just have to love the showing that you've seen defensively, given the struggles they've had on that side of the ball over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's been the difference in the game. Check mark, defense and special teams. Those are the 2 check marks right now that go in favor of VCC. And also the third check mark, Willoughby, because he comes really big in the passing game. It comes up big when they've needed him to get those first downs, and, of course, the 2 touchdowns that go up on the board.
And now as we take a look towards this second half, what do you think for both teams? Obviously, if you're ECC, you want to keep doing what you're doing. You want to see that defensive line keep winning the battle of the trenches, and conversely, the offensive line as well. They have been really good today, particularly in pass protection, but obviously on the offense, you want to keep trying to move the ball here, don't want to make any mistakes. And conversely, for Nassau, what do they have to do to try and get back into this game here?
Well, I'll tell you, they need to start absolutely controlling the ball. They have not been able to run the ball outside those 2 runs that happened at the end of the half right there. They need to be able to run the ball again and be able to move that to set up some of the pass plays that are going to need to happen. So far, Nassau, when they've gone to pass plays, pretty much has been doing it on that third down opportunities, and they've been longer third downs and haven't been able to convert what they wanted to do. They've got to be able to have that run set up the passing game. And flip it for ECC. The one thing that has to happen is they got to get that run game going, though. They've got to be able to keep doing what they're doing and control the clock. To control the clock in the second half, you're going to have to run the ball, especially if this weather does change. If we're looking right now what's about to come in, I got dark clouds over here coming in. If we have any rain whatsoever, it's going to make it much harder to throw the ball, and running could be even more important.
Certainly. They did a good job of controlling the clock in that first half, just in general, being able to throw the ball, some short throws in the passing game, but obviously you'd like to see that run game start to get going to make things easier on that front. We'll take a timeout here, and when we come back, we'll have second half action underway here between Nassau Community College and Erie Community College here on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wingnuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well, I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
At WNYAthletics.com. You can thank me later.
WNYAthletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Are you an AD struggling to keep up with the social media needs of your teams? Check out Box Out Sports, a platform used by colleges and high schools all across the country. It's a true plug-and-play system where in less than 30 seconds you have access to over 1,000 templates that include your colors, your logos, and your information to highlight your student athletes. If you're interested in learning more, go to boxoutsports.com today.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well, I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. We're getting ready for the second half here of this matchup between the Erie Community College Cats and the Nassau Community College Lions. Right now, ECC leading 14-0. This is the second time this season that Nassau has been shut out in the first half. They were shut out in the first half in their season opener against Rochester Community and Technical College, but they would then score 27 points in the second half alone. They ended up losing that game in overtime, but much like this game, they also trailed that game 14-0 at halftime and were able to come back, and we'll see that offense on the field here to start the second half for the Lions. And another thing that we should have mentioned at halftime, something they're going to have to adjust, is penalties. They were oft penalized in that first half. They're going to want to turn things around in that department here as they start out with the return going down the far sideline. So here we go. Back comes the Cats offense here, or excuse me, the Lions offense to get things started.
So like you said, though, 27 points. They were shut out in the first half. This team can put points up on the board. Just because you were shut out doesn't mean you can rely on that to have the same thing happen in the second half. You've got to be even more aggressive right here if you're going to make that happen.
And they start out first down and 10, 4 receivers in the pattern. And here's the snap. Outlaw's just going to fire this one quick, and it is put on the ground there by Eric Harris. Looks like they are going to rule it a catch and fumble, which is the right decision, and then he recovers.
It looked like that one just slipped out of his hands. That's the second time we've seen a ball pretty much slip out of the hands of somebody that's been on the Nassau Community College team.
The good news is Harris able to recover. The bad news is they lost yardage on the play. And now second down and long. Here's the snap. Outlaw pressured immediately, and he is forced to just throw it quickly in the flat to Harris, and then the defense rallies to the football there. They're going to drop him for a loss. Looked like they sent Romeo Kidd there, number 36, off the edge on a safety blitz, and they get the pressure.
Romeo Kidd, former St. Francis player here in Western New York.
Has 2 interceptions on the season. He had 6 tackles last week, including 5 solo, most tackles he's had in a single game this season. Now third down and long upcoming here for Nassau. 4 receivers in the pattern. Here's the snap. Outlaw. He has to roll to his left. Now he's going to throw cross body, and a little unfriendly fire there. A couple Cats collide, but the pass falls incomplete. No less. Solomon Dakota, the intended target.
Boy, I'll tell you got to give the way the defense comes out here for ECC credit. And it's been about, I'm going to tell you, that entire defensive line, they have gotten great penetration in. They've been able to make sure that he's been on the run constantly for every one of his throws. It really has been something to watch right now for this defense of ECC.
Here's the punt, and the whistle blows. There is a flag down. They threw it down back where Moritz was standing.
He pointed it was against ECC.
They are going to move the ball up a little bit here. Penalty goes against the Cats. That's their 6th. They'll line up and do this over again here. This time able to get it off, and more. It's driven back to the 25. Tough catch. He's able to make it, and now gets taken down just shy of the 30-yard line, and you've got more flags coming down.
Yeah, that's probably going to go another 10 yards back from where Moritz actually landed right there.
We're worried about having to deal with actual precipitation in this game, but the only thing that's been precipitating down on the field thus far has been flags.
How long did you think of that one? That's what I want to know.
That just popped in. That was right off the dome. I did not put much thought into that one at all.
Love it.
Helps to be quick on your feet sometimes in this business.
I don't disagree with you whatsoever.
Now, first possession of the second half here coming up for the Cats. 4 receivers, 1 back, and Willoughby in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to drop back. They're going to come out swinging here, and he's looking for the jugular, going long, and that is incomplete.
He had a step, too.
That was Troy Singleton Burnett, who did indeed have a step, but that one just a little too far out in front of him.
I'll tell you, he's listed as New Windsor, which would technically land in the Cornwall High School School District, is where that could possibly land, which is where I went to school downstate. So that could be somebody who actually went to Cornwall. Could be the Newburgh School District as well. It's one of those ones that's kind of right in the middle, depending on where you live.
Singleton Burnett played in high school at Washingtonville.
Oh, okay.
As the second down play, they're going to blow the whistle here. And another flag comes down.
So Washingtonville was the school district right next to Cornwall. When I went to school at Cornwall, we actually had the high school in Cornwall. Since then, Cornwall has taken the high school and moved it to New Windsor. So you could literally land in New Windsor and be in Cornwall. You could be in New Windsor, go to Washingtonville, or you could be on the other side of New Windsor and land in Newburgh.
Penalty there going against Nassau. They get them for encroachment, or neutral zone infraction, rather. Second down and 5. They stick with 4 receivers here. And Willoughby is going to hand it off here on this second down, and there is nowhere to go. They try to run the ball, but no room to be had there as Warburton gets tossed aside, and that brings up third down.
That may be the only part of the game today that ECC would say that they really want to improve on has been the run game. They've got to figure out a way to open up some of these holes right there so their runners can get through these holes and get some positive plays and keep controlling that time of possession.
They average about 115 yards per game, just over 3 yards a carry. On third down, Willoughby fires short, caught by Jarrell Green, and he goes down there short of the line to gain.
I was waiting to see where they were going to place the ball. It looked like they kept looking around a little bit as to where that placement was going to go. We'll be just short right here. They're going to have to punt this one away.
They do send out the punting unit there. They trot him out with now 10 seconds left on the play clock here. Gavin Carney to punt. And gets this one away. Going to be fielded at the 45 now on the run back. Up to midfield and spun down in Cats territory. Decent little return there, and that'll set him up with a short field.
They're going to get to start this one inside ECC territory right here. That was the difference. Remember the first drive of the game where ECC went all the way down the field, controlled that clock? It was about 6.5 minutes that went off that clock on that first drive. That's the biggest difference right here from first half to second half. You're going to right now ask your defense to try to come up big again.
First down and 10. Here's the give to Eric Harris. Finds a little crease there along the right side of the offensive line, but flags come down in the offensive backfield. And
yeah, one was early, Tanner, and one came in very late right there. So you wonder what that second flag is going to be.
The refs conferencing here around midfield as we await the call.
Yeah, too.
The calls are holding against Nassau and a chop block.
So holding the first one, chop block on the second one is what it was. So both of those are going to offset. We're going to replay this one now. Remember I said that one came in late. That late one was the chop block right there. The initial one was the hold.
So no harm, no foul for either team there with the offsetting penalties. First down and 10 from the 48. Elijah Outlaw in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to drift to his left. Now he's going to fire this one down the sideline. Dakota is wide open, and he drops it in the bucket. Touchdown, Nassau. A 48-yard strike, and they are on the board as Elijah Outlaw finds Solomon Dakota, and they have broken the shutout.
And we said you were asking your defense a lot right there to come right back out on the field and try to make a big stop. I did like the penetration that happened by the ECC team, but you can see he was wide open running down that sideline, and it was going to happen if you kept having any players that were open, and they made a big play happen right there to get on the scoreboard.
And now Matias Perez Herrera is on for the PAT. Had a field goal blocked earlier. This one is up, and we have a flag down.
They're really talking about this one.
And it's a false start against Nassau. I believe that puts them in double digits now in terms of penalties. That's number 10. And now we'll try it again here. Perez Herrera. That is no good. So 10:29 left in the third quarter. Nassau strikes for the first time today. As we take another look, this the second touchdown of the season for Solomon Dakota.
I'll tell you who just needed, and Jalen Yearwood was the one who was right in his face right there. Almost comes up with a big stop, but you got to give credit right there to Outlaws. He got that ball off beautifully just before he was able to get into that backfield and try to make something happen. But a great play there by Nassau to now make this a one-score game. But to me right now, this offensive drive is very, very important for ECC. They cannot come out and do a 3-and-out and ask your defense to try to come up big again. You've got to right now have a sustainable drive and take some time off that clock. I'm not saying you're going to necessarily got to put points up on the board, but you got to give that defense a rest out here right now.
That the second touchdown of the season receiving, as I mentioned, for Solomon Dakota. Over his junior and senior years in high school at Abraham Lincoln High School down in Brooklyn, had 65 receptions, 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns over his final two high school seasons. And now here's the kickoff. It drives back Reginald Hoax to the goal line. Now he's going to return down the far sideline. Here goes Hoax with a nice return there. Stays on his feet and gets taken down at the 45-yard line. So Reginald Hoax has certainly made his imprint on this game. Has a 43-yard receiving touchdown. Had a couple nice kick returns there to set up his team with good opening field position here on what feels like it could be a critical drive here in this game.
I really do. I just think it's a critical drive, is that defense needs a little bit of rest right now. That's all. Give them the rest. Let them do what they did inside that first half. But if you keep having the 3 and out, keep bringing them out, that's when the offenses will start to expose things. So this now becomes important for you to control the clock and the time of possession that you did so well in the first half.
From the 45, it is 1st and 10. Willoughby fires quickly. That is caught by Byron Williams. Had the touchdown on the opening drive, and now it appears he has a chain-moving reception. No, they're going to say just short. Like stepped out of bounds about 2 yards short of the first down marker there.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Let's do what we do, man.
Second down and short. 2 receivers. Here's Willoughby. The give goes to Darius Fleming. Now Fleming looking for some space there, and the pile pushes forward for the first down.
But when we say the pile pushes forward, Tanner, that's normally when you see the lineman coming up and push him. That was pushed because of him. He ran that pile right there and got those extra yards because he kept moving those legs and made sure he was going to get that first down.
A good display of tough running there from Darius Fleming. Gets the Cats the first down, and now they're in enemy territory. Fleming stays in for this first down snap. 3 receivers. 1 back, 1 tight end. Willoughby, it's a play-action pass, and it is caught. Byron Williams took a shot there, but held on no less.
Really did, and that was a great job to be able to make sure he kept his composure and kept that ball in his hands. Does a great job right there. And if you actually saw, Willoughby did one of those sidearm type throws to make sure it wasn't going to get picked off right there, and that he was going to be the only one that was able to catch it as well. Remind me of one of those Mahomes passes. He likes to do that where he drops it down and kind of throws the sidearm thing.
Dwayne Schulters came up and laid the boom there on Byron Williams. It's a short gain on first down. Now Willoughby with the handoff there to Darius Fleming once again. And a short gain on second down.
And this is that part of the field, Tanner, again, where you should get 2 shots. So you can run the ball if you want it again right here because you're going to get 2 opportunities for a first down.
Let's work, D. Let's work. 3rd down, baby. Let's get him out of here.
Likely another area here where ECC would tell you they'd like to improve their 3rd down efficiency. They're converting at a 25% clip today, 2 for 8. Their season average.
Let's go, D.
Here's Willoughby dancing around, trying to roll right. Now goes back to his left. There are flags down. Willoughby has kept this play alive. It's batted up in the air and then broken up there to prevent the interception. So we'll check these penalties.
They already showed it to us. It was actually going to be a hold that's going to go against ECC. I'll tell you, that seemed to be doomed, that play from the very beginning. If you saw as Willoughby was going back, he actually ran into his running back right there, who was supposed to be in pass protection, but he ends up running into him. But somehow be able to not get tackled on there and make sure it was a tackle for a loss. He found an opening and almost made something spectacular if the flags weren't thrown, I understand. But then the flag's being thrown, and that's going to automatically come back those 10 extra yards.
So Nassau accepts the penalty to make it 3rd down and long here.
Now it goes. Now you come to where it's got to be a pass play right there versus where you were down inside the not deep in the territory, but inside Nassau's territory right there. You had 2 opportunities if you can absolutely even got a short gain.
Third down and long. The season average converting third downs for ECC is 24% as Willoughby climbing the pocket. Now heaves it deep down the sideline. It's going to be intercepted. Cedric Jean-Pierre now on the run back. He stepped out of bounds there. But the defense comes away with a takeaway. Cedric Jean-Pierre snags the INT, just the second of the season for Willoughby.
So I will say to you, Tanner, here is the next play, if they don't make this, would have been a punt. You could almost say, is this acted like a punt right here for you, and you pin them down deep into their territory right now. So I don't consider this a bad pass right here. You're absolutely still pin them down into your territory, but now you need your defense to come up and step up, especially because they are so deep right now inside their own territory.
Well, for Cedric Jean-Pierre, that's his second interception of the season. He snagged his first collegiate interception in their 22-14 win over Hudson Valley Community College on September 20th. Now we'll see if the offense can make good on it. Here is Outlaw. He's going to tuck and run, and Elijah Outlaw working his way toward the near sideline and will step out of bounds there after a nice scramble on first down.
That was Javon Gray who kind of ran him out of bounds so that he didn't get that first down. He was kind of mirroring him, watching him, and then ran him right out of bounds. So good play right hit by him.
For Outlaw, as we mentioned, that's part of his game. Back in high school for West Babylon, not only did he have 3,609 career passing yards, but he had 1,982 rushing yards, 70 total touchdowns, 39 through the air, 31 on the ground. He's going to hand it off to Eric Harris here on second down, and it looks like he is tripped up just short. Nope, they gave it to him. First down. Jamal Drummond on the tackle, but not before Harris picks up a Lions first down. For receivers, here's the snap. Outlaw. He steps up in the pocket, throws this one. It is batted up into the air and incomplete. Could not get it over the outstretched arms of Joshua Larriere.
He almost came up with a big interception right there. You could see, did you see how many times he hit the ground after it? He knew he wanted that one back in a separate opportunity because that almost became a huge defensive stop if he would have come down with that. And could you imagine the territory where they would have been? They would have been deep inside right there in Nassau Community College. That almost could have been a game changer right there.
Here's Outlaw. Fires quick. That pass is caught on second down. It's going to go for a first. There is a flag down. That was James Collins on the reception. Coming into this game for Collins, 3 games played this year, only 1 reception for 2 yards.
I don't think there was a flag. There's a ball getting thrown back and forth there that I think I saw the same thing you did, and it looked like a flag, but it was the ball that actually was being thrown on the sideline over there.
No less, first down and 10 here. Outlaw, here comes the give to Harris, running near side, and Harris trying to keep those legs churning. He falls forward to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 2 there as Joshua Larriere makes the tackle once again. Got his hands on a ball earlier in the drive.
He did a good job of filling the gap right there and making sure he came up and made that tackle so that was only going to be a very short gain.
4 receivers now, including trips to the far side of the field here on second down and 8. Outlaw throws this one, and it is hauled in. And now breaking some tackles, trying to find some running room there. Nothing going on for Caleb Corbett there.
Another screen pass right there to the outside. Boy, ECC covered this one well. As you saw, they still got great penetration for their defensive tackles. But, boy, they came over. Those defensive backs came up, filled that real nicely, and made sure that was going to be a negative play. But, boy, I liked everything about that from the defensive standpoint from ECC.
4 minutes and change here left in the third quarter. Nassau trying to capitalize on an ECC turnover. Third down and long. Outlaw is going to spin to his left. Here comes Larrier with the pressure, and he takes him down. There is a flag down, however.
He got face mask. That's going to be a face mask call. This is going to be a 15-yarder and an automatic first down that's going to go against ECC on that one, and that's unfortunate because Larrier almost comes up with an incredible play that should have been a tackle for a loss, but you can saw the grabbing of the face mask right there, and that's going to be a negative play to go against ECC.
Oh, that hurts. Third down and long. You think you're getting off the field there, and just, yep, there it was. So unfortunate turn of events there for the ECC defense. The drive stays alive for Nassau by way of penalty.
If you remember, you and I talked at halftime as well as in that first half that said both coaches were going to go into that locker room, and one of the things they were going to address was the flags. And so far, that's one that hurts ECC right there because it could have been a spectacular play.
So first down and 10, fresh set of downs here. Man goes in motion across the formation on first down. Here's the give to Corbett, and he is taken down. Delshawn Taylor was in there on the stop. Jalen Yearwood in there as well. Brings up second down.
Yeah, what a great job. And that's what we keep talking about, that penetration. That's something, when you can do that as a defensive tackle and stand in that backfield, you stop so much from happening, and you are not giving them enough time to throw the ball or to be able to run the ball. And you right now are making sure every gap is filled. And when you do that, you give your linebackers also another opportunity to make some big plays.
Second down and long as they spread out the receivers here. Pressure coming, and Outlaw has to dance away from it and takes a sack. Down inside the 5-yard line, they sent the heat there, and Shamir Land was among a number of cats in there chasing down Outlaw, as we'll take another look at it here.
It was a one-hander. Did you see that? He took him down by one hand right there, and that's exactly who it was Shamir Land as he comes up big. Boy, that's a big tackle right there. And does that not make up now for the last play? Because it was almost the same exact spot that it happened right out there. But now think about this if you're ECC. You make a stop right here, and then you're going to make them be able to punt out of that end zone, which could really be big for your field positioning and what you want to do. And it looks like there may be some sort of delay a game or penalty right here.
Looks like Nassau, they were able to get the timeout off to avoid any such penalty there. So we'll step aside as well. 2:09 left in the third. Back after this here on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Back here from Williamsville South High School, late stages of the third quarter. It is third down and long here. Upcoming for is caught and now angling up the field. Getting back some of the lost yardage there, but not quite the first down. And it'll at least give him some breathing room here. Antoine Blackman on the reception.
That's actually a huge play, Tanner, because that really made sure that you can now kick it and get into ECC zone out there into their territory. But before, if you would have been kicking that from there, you could have been talking about ECC getting that ball on NASSAU's 40, 35-yard line, or even better right there if you had some sort of a return. That's how important that play was there for NASSAU.
Here comes the punt. High end over end, and it's caught by Willoughby there, out of bounds along the sideline as he waits to check back into this game here. And him and the offense will have it at their own 46.
Willoughby's just showing he could be a wide receiver too, right? That's all he was trying to do.
So the defense did its job. They get the stop, no harm, no foul, after the last possession for ECC ended in a Willoughby interception.
You right now, if I was to put and ask you a question to say who our players of the game so far were, you would probably go to the defensive side of the ball right now for ECC.
I think anyone along that defensive front would be a contender, as here goes the handoff to Torrey Anderson, and he squeezes through a tight hole there, gets taken down around midfield. There is a flag down.
That was a very late one that just got thrown in. That one came in very late. There was one early on, which is usually some sort of hold, but I'm now wondering what the second flag is. So they both went against NASSAU. It was a face mask on the first one, and the second one was going to be a personal foul penalty. This will be 30 yards of penalty that will go against right now Nassau Community College.
So these penalties have gotten the Lions into a world of trouble today.
Looks like they didn't do all.
Like only assessed one here. Is that ball on the ground? But Torrey Anderson is Johnny on the spot. He scoops it up and carries it for a first down.
How he even got that, I can't believe it. But he picked it up and went right up the middle. You can see is obviously picks up the ball being on the ground. Give him credit, because that could have really been a busted play, but he turns it into a positive and a first down. That's a big wow one right there.
Heads up play there by Torrey Anderson to avoid potential calamity. Instead, he takes it and turns it into a first down. Now 3 receivers in the game here for the Cats. Willoughby takes the snap. He pulls it out. He throws over the middle. That is complete to Nigel Rossman.
Good fake right there. You saw the defense follow Anderson right there thinking it's a run, and then Willoughby does a great job of getting that pass right over the middle and very close to another first down opportunity.
And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Time to make the switch to the fourth. ECC leads 14-6, and they're looking to add to it here as they are driving. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high-level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both WNYAthletics locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary WNYAthletics hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit WNYAthletics.
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. Start of the fourth quarter. ECC leads Nassau 14-6. Looking to add to it. Willoughby keeps it himself. He's got a beeline for the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. Roll out the red carpet for Noah Willoughby. He takes it in from 14 yards out. And the Cats retake a 2-possession lead here to start the fourth quarter.
Think about what Anderson did when he picked up that ball and ran for the first down. Since he did that, he was a decoy twice that has now worked in the favor of ECC to get themselves in the end zone, and that's all because of a positive run play that we had said we had to see in the second half more of a run game happen. Anderson comes out and comes up big right there for ECC.
Here is Gabriel Kemp on for the point after. Kick is up, and it is good. So ECC leads by 15 here after the 14-yard scamper by Noah Willoughby. We'll take another look at it.
See the fake right there to Anderson? They all go to Anderson, and that opens up right there for Willoughby to literally walk right into the end zone and do a celebration with his team.
Nicely done there for the Cats. For Willoughby, that's his first rushing touchdown of the season. Had 9 through the air, including his 43-yard strike to Reginald Hoax early on in this one, but now gets his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Back to return for the Lions, 26, Solomon Dekotu.
You can see ECC's sideline really positive right now, really upbeat. And you can see what happened when Willoughby came over to get some water. His teammates coming over, slap him up, high five, and that's what you want to see. You can just see the positivity on that sideline right now, and it's been growing and growing and growing as this game keeps going on.
ECC right at their season average now. Came into this game averaging 21.8 points per game. And now the kickoff will be fielded at the 10-yard line. On the run back, Corbett coming toward the near sideline, taken down at the 30. There is a flag down. I beg your pardon, that was not Corbett. On the return for Nassau, that was Mark Pearson.
Actually, 2 flags that were thrown. Looks like it's pretty much what normally happens when you see flags on a kickoff. It's usually going to be some sort of hold, push in the back type thing that usually almost 95% of the time goes against the receiving team there.
That'll back them up here as now they try and dig themselves out of this 15-point hole here. But time somewhat on their side here. They have the entire quarter to do it. First and 10 from the 20. Here's the motion. Handoff goes to Harris. He's going to try the left side of the formation there, and not much room to be had as he's...
I think the ball came out, Tanner.
ECC signaling they have it. And have we gotten a signal yet?
Yeah, I haven't seen a signal yet, but everyone has gone crazy like it has.
Yep.
And both teams have sent out new players out to the field.
Still no signal yet from the officials. ECC is celebrating as if they have it, but we have not gotten the official indication, but now we have. ECC forces their third takeaway of the game, and now they'll be starting here inside the red zone, and they can really put this game out of reach now here if they were able to punch this one in.
Listen, you got to tell Jarrell Green at the end of this game, you don't want to do a run and jump with Sammy Akeganawa. You're going to get knocked down to the ground.
Yep. We'll take another look at it here. Hard to see where the ball came out.
He was fighting for extra yards. You could see fighting for those extra yards, and there were 4 or 5 guys in there for ECC, and you saw them come right out. But what a great job. The defense comes up big again right now for ECC. What a great game that they've come out here and played today.
They take a timeout, and we will take one as well. Back after this on Western New York Athletics. Back here from Williamsville South High School, the Cats defense has just forced a turnover. Now they're starting in the red zone here. Willoughby fires to the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Reginald Hoax, and a flag comes in late. That's the second of the day for Reginald Hoax from 19 yards out.
Okay, so this is going to be a roughing the passer there, and then another one that got thrown afterwards. So you've got some sort of celebration one, and I think that may be going. So there, you see, is that going to go against ECC right there? But there's 2 flags. One is roughing the passer, and then there's an unsportsmanlike penalty that's going to come out afterwards as well.
There you go. There's the roughing the passer. And then unsportsmanlike on ECC.
Yep, so it's gonna; those are going to negate right there is what's going to happen. So the touchdown is still going to be good is what's going to happen here. Because the roughing the passer is the one that's going to get taken away. Then the unsportsmanlike conduct, the question is, will that still be assessed right here? And will it come on the extra point, or will they take it on the actual kickoff? But boy, I got to tell you, Willoughby, to stay in that pocket when you knew you were going to get hit and get that down into the end zone, wow, what a play right there. And that is exactly what you want your quarterback to show, that kind of toughness and still deliver a pass like that. That right there was something that will be a highlight catch and throw right there for ECC.
Looks like they got the penalty situation sorted out now, and Gabriel Kemp will come on to attempt the PAT. And that one is good. So ECC, 14 points in the last 30 seconds. This time Willoughby finds Reginald Hoax from 19 yards out on this beauty right here.
Watch this, though. Look at him get the contact. He gets knocked down and still delivers it. And he just got that 1 yard cushion that he needed for Willoughby to fit it right in there for the touchdown.
And Reginald Hoax, he has had quite a day here today. Had a couple nice kick returns, had a 43-yard receiving touchdown earlier in the game, now from 19 yards out. So that'll put him over 200 yards receiving on the season, and he's got his first multi-touchdown game of his career as a Cat. Reginald Hoax, the freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina, out of Independence High School, 5'9", 153. And if you're Nassau, you still have 14 minutes left in this fourth quarter, but that last one, that last sequence of events, that hurt for sure. The turnover directly into 7 points. Going to be some tough sledding here the rest of the way for them. Here is the kickoff, and the whistle blows. right as it was being fielded.
Flag. Looks like it's an offsides on ECC.
Oh, they called a false start there on the kickoff. So there you go, Tom. You said it earlier. About 99% of the time you see a flag on the kickoff, it's going to be for hold, block in the back. There's your 1% there.
But that happened before the play happens. Usually when you're saying is when the play has been developing already, that's where that comes into play. But you're right, a false start right there is something that will easily throw that off as well. But I'll tell you, this game is still not over. This Nassau team could put up points and put up quickly. We saw that on their strike that they had already for a touchdown. So this is something the defense is still going to need to come out and be big.
Here we go. This one fielded at the 10-yard line. Now on the return, another flag flies. It was a good return for Nassau, but we'll see if it stands.
This is, I think, what we talk about, that, it's some sort of hold. The other one that seems to be, that could be called, that we talk about, would be a face mask that could go against the kicking team. But obviously it's another hold right here. It's going to take another 10 yards from where the hold was. The only thing is that quick strike right there. It means your defense has got to come back on the field. I know they're excited right now, but it still means your defense is going to have to come back out right now.
First down and 10 from the 30. Here is Outlaw. He is going to fire this one over the middle. Got a man wide open, and the catch is made, and going all the way here for 70 yards. Touchdown. That is exactly what they needed right there. Antoine Blackman. They needed a quick answer, and they got it.
Looked like a missed opportunity right there, or a broken play on the defensive side of the ball by the ECC. And you saw he was wide open, hits him in stride, and that's that quick strike ability that I literally just said that we need to be careful of if you're ECC. And again, now your offense is going to have to come out and control that ball. I kept saying is this defense has been out on the field a lot here in the second half. You've got to be able to adjust and help that defense out.
Outlaw on the two-point conversion throws high and incomplete, so the score remains 28-12 here with just over 14 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. But they needed a quick strike, and they got it. Antoine Blackman, his second receiving touchdown of the season.
Wasn't even guarded, and you see the players looking back, they're wondering where the defender is, and that was what they were talking about. That was a broken play right there in the defensive side. But listen, that's what Nassau's got to do. You got to capitalize on a play like that, and they do exactly that, and now you're talking about it's a two-score game. So you defensively now need to come up with that big play if you're Nassau. And right now, if you're Erie, you've got to control this clock right now. We've got to see the run game come out, control the clock, let the run help the pass a little bit, but you've got to make sure that clock keeps ticking down in your favor.
That's a new career best for Antoine Blackman, the longest reception of his career. His previous long was 55 yards. That was on September 12th in the shutout win over Wagner College, 10-0. He had the only touchdown in that game, a 55-yard receiving touchdown, and now he's got a 70-yard receiving touchdown here in this one.
We've only had a minute here eclipsed right now in the fourth quarter. We've had 2 scores already. So you could see a lot of offense still could be played inside this game. There is still a lot of time, and being down right here by 2 scores is still a capability for Nassau. That's why I keep talking about what ECC has to do right now as far as controlling that clock and be able to move that ball.
And nothing major, just combined 20 points scored here in the last 49 seconds. Here is Willoughby, the give on first down, and stacked up and dropped there at the line of scrimmage was Darius Fleming.
You know, the one thing it is very hard to do in this backfield is there are multiple guys we've seen run the ball, and it's being able to try to get enough guys time to be able to carry that ball is something that, Coach, you can see it's difficult to do. You're trying to feed the ball to multiple hands right there, and they're trying to find right now who could possibly be the hot guy to finish this game off.
Loss of 1 on the play. It is 2nd down and 11. 3 receivers in the pattern, 1 back, 1 tight end. Willoughby will throw. He will climb the pocket. He fires, and that one is incomplete. Nice break on the ball there. He was looking for Troy Singleton Burnett, but a well-timed PBU there for Vincent Spina.
Yeah, Spina really did time that one really well to knock that ball out. Wouldn't have been a first down right there, but it would have been a very manageable 3rd down if they would have been able to make that play and have it stop right where he caught it.
So the clock stops here, 13:10 left in the 4th quarter, and it'll be 3rd down and long for ECC, who, according to my count, 2 for 9 so far on 3rd down today. And they'll spread them out, 4 wide trips to the far side of the field. Here is Willoughby, short drop. Now he's going to fire deep down the far sideline. He's got 2 receivers in the area. It's incomplete over the head of Troy Singleton Burnett. And
Willoughby looks hurt. He comes limping off the field right now. You got to hope he's okay. But he's really got a limp. Something happened that he landed wrong right there.
Yep. As we've mentioned at other points in the broadcast, missed last week's game. And even throwing it back to game 1 of this season. There was a point in that game where he got shaken up, had to come out for a possession or 2, ultimately did return, but he has dealt through some things this season for sure. Coming into this game, not really at 100%. And now ECC comes up with the football here.
Yeah, they're saying he's down, though, I think. I think they're not going to give the ball to him. They're saying he's down.
So there we go. Punt for ECC, and obviously we'll keep an eye on Willoughby. It looks like they're working on his lower body down there, maybe foot, ankle. So that'll be something to monitor as this game goes on. But for now, Nassau Community College trying to stage a furious late game comeback here. Their last possession resulted in a 70-yard touchdown to Antoine Blackman, and now they have a chance to get this back down to a 1-possession game here.
He can't run yet right now. He is really struggling right now on this sideline, Willoughby. They're trying to get him to run and loosen up. He looked like he was grabbing the top of his foot. He's trying to work through this right now.
Now 1st down and 10 for receivers. Trips near side this time for Nassau. Corbett motions out of the backfield. Here is Outlaw. He's going to throw deep. He has a man open again, and that is incomplete over the head of Mark Pearson, who had some room to roam there. Had the ball been on target.
It's on target. There's a chance he goes into the end zone right there. He literally is going down that sideline and almost comes up with a huge play right there and gets that could have changed the whole dynamics of this game if they would have hit that big strike right there.
There's been what appears to be some busted coverages here on the back end, particularly in this second half here for ECC. They're going to have to tighten things up in that regard. They come out with 2 deep safeties here now on 2nd and 10, Kidd and Drummond. Here's the snap. It's going to be Outlaw. He's going to roll to his left, now trying to flip his hips, looking to throw. Now he's going to double back right, just has to throw this one up along the sideline. It is incomplete. Looks like maybe a little extracurricular activity going on. Yep. Flag comes out.
So we're definitely going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct right here. The question is, who's it going against? Or if there's any way it goes, both ways. That could also be a possibility. Yeah, you can see it's getting a little chippy down there inside the field. ECC is pointing that it seems to be going against NASSAU is where they're pointing right now.
We have not got an official indication yet from the officials. They're still talking this thing's over on the far side of the field. While it gives both teams a chance to huddle up here.
So now so they're over there talking to NASSAU. So this will be interesting to see what this call is.
And now it looks like we'll get the official word here. It's going to be a personal foul against the Cats. Then there's a dead ball foul against Nassau.
So they should have just offset is what happened. Saying they got the first down, that the penalties offset is how they're going to go with this one.
All right, first down and 10. Here's a snap. Outlaw, it's going to be a pitch. This is Corbett running near side. Another flag down in the offensive backfield here as Corbett fights his way forward to the 40-yard line. And judging by the reaction of one of the Nassau offensive linemen, it looks like this is going to be going against them.
Yeah, you could see it's in the backfield right there, so it's probably going to be some sort of hold.
Kevin Dopwell put his hands on his helmet like, you got to be kidding me.
Yep. He's done that a couple times in this game as well. But think about it. You've only had 4 penalties in the last 4 games, Tanner, and you've literally almost tripled that in this game. So you could see where the frustration would really come in if you were a Nassau Community College player.
That'll back them up here to be first down and long. But then again, the Lions have shown somewhat of a propensity today for big plays, so you can't count them out no matter the down and distance. And with it being first down, have plenty of cracks at it here to try and dig themselves out of this penalty-induced hole here, as it's going to be a play fake, rolling right, Outlaw directing traffic. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and good decision there from Elijah Outlaw as he gets up to around the 40-yard line, so he gets back all of the lost penalty yardage there and then some.
Now, did you see him being directive, trying to tell his receiver to go? That will also set up the run right there. When he's telling him to go deep, he's trying to get the guy who's guarding him to go with him out there deep so that he could go there and have a lane to be able to run right down the field. A great job of leading his receiver, but really leading the defensive player as well.
So great decision to tuck it and run there for Elijah Outlaw, as he was able to scamper for the first down with his legs. Now it's going to be a handoff to Corbett. Looks to cut it back, and then he gets wrestled down there by Jaden Ransom and Shamir Land.
I'll tell you, we've really called Land's name multiple times today. He has come up big on this defensive point. I really have been just very impressed with multiple guys on this defense. Like I've said, I've loved what I've seen from the defensive tackles, especially from Taylor and Ikeganao. And then you add Shamir Land into this. We really have just been talking about the entire defense out here and really the plays that they've been making.
Second down here, 4 receivers. Outlaw dropping back, firing, and that is incomplete. Not bad ball placement there. Now a flag comes in late.
So they're going to call that he did a little dance at the end of that. That's what that's going to be. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's going to be another 15 yards. That's going to go against ECC here.
Yeah, Mark Rogers was the DB in coverage there, and then they didn't like his celebrating there after the play.
Now, we don't know what was said. There could have been something said along with it, and that's the reason why they throw it. From here, that's the reason we get reactions like we do, because we looked at it and it didn't make sense as to why that would have been called. Yep, that's exactly that.
Personal foul for taunting against the Cats.
So the Cats going to get pinched for taunting, and Roger's going to hear about it down on the sideline.
And you know that's exactly what Coach is going to say there on the sidelines. But you've got to right now is we don't know what else was said on there. And it could have been something verbally that was said that was really what set off, and it was the reason why that flag was thrown.
So first down and 10, Nassau driving. They've gotten some help from penalties on this drive. Inside the ECC 40-yard line. Here's the snap. Outlaw. He's going to fire deep down the near sideline, and his receiver went down there, Mark Pearson. That one is incomplete.
It looked like an incidental contact right there that happened, so that's the reason for the no call.
Closest one to it was Romeo Kidd. It's incomplete. Brings up second down and 10.
Boy, I'll tell you, we've had a lot of action, and we haven't even gone through 5 minutes in this fourth quarter yet, and it's really been fun-filled and a lot of action so far.
Second down and 10. Here's a handoff and some room to run here. Taken down, but picking up the first down. Nice play there, a little change of pace run. And that was Kaisim Springer on the carry. Previously a member of the football team at SUNY Brockport, but he makes a big play there for Nassau, picking up the first down with his legs. Now 4 receivers. Trips near side. Looks like Springer's still in there as the back. He's going to stay back in pass pro. Here's the throw! And a massive hit laid by Jamal Drummond. Flags come out. The catch was made. James Collins got rocked by Jamal Drummond, but held on, and now he is still down.
Wow, that was one of the hardest hits I may have seen right there. They're also going to call it for a defenseless receiver. That's what that penalty is going to be. But wow, what a hit that was.
Oh, man, and still down is Collins. Credit to him. I don't know how in the world he held onto that ball because he got absolutely hammered by Jamal Drummond. As we take another look here.
Great pass protection. As you see, he had enough time to throw that, went up and just, wow. That was a hit where he went straight down and just looks like he's okay. That's really what we want. You never want to see anybody go down that hard, and he gets up and looks like he'll be fine to be able to finish out this game.
We can only hope, at least. I imagine they're going to take a look at him down on the sideline and make sure he's all there cognitively, to put it one way. But Collins, as I mentioned earlier, coming into this game, had appeared in 3 games, only 1 reception for 2 yards, has a couple today, and somehow managed to hold on to that ball. The 6'4" freshman wide receiver out of Farmingdale, New York. Now out trots the offense. It is goal to go here. This is their first time inside the red zone, I believe. For Nassau, Kaisim Springer is the running back, and Elijah Outlaw will come out under center. Here's the give to Springer, and he just had no room to roam there. Shamir Land once again. You know, Tom, you asked me earlier, if you're thinking about a player of the game for this game, you're going to the defensive side of the ball. I might be zeroing in on number 54. It seems like he's been living in the backfield today.
I agree with you on that comment right there. And obviously now that we're seeing the offense pick up here a little bit, you know, Willoughby, of course, is in that conversation as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're just trying to make the point of we can't believe how well the defense has played today for ECC, and it's been a big reason for why this score is the way it is right now.
Speaking of Willoughby, if there was ever a silver lining to having a drive go this long, it's so he can shake off whatever was ailing him at the end of the last drive. Here's a give to Eric Harris. Look at him keep those legs churning. Good, tough run. Gets him down inside the 5.
Yeah, that's a great point right now, and I think he's still sitting over here on the bench is where he's sitting right now. So we haven't really seen him get up and run around as of late, so hopefully that he's okay. He's definitely making mannerisms over there that he seems to be ready to go in.
Now it's 3rd down and goal. They hand it off up the middle. They fake the pitch and then just plunge right up the middle, and it's a touchdown. It is a touchdown for Marcus McNeil-Strongs.
So this 2-point conversion is big for both teams. If ECC can get the stop, you keep it as a 2-possession game. If, of course, they convert it, Nassau, now you've turned this into a 1-possession game. So this is now showing why special teams will be so important right now on this 2-point conversion.
They went for 2 after their last touchdown, did not get it. They have a bunch set to the near side. Solomon Dakota isolated to the far side of the field. Here is Outlaw. They tried to set a little mid-screen there, and it falls incomplete.
So big stop right there for ECC. Think about it. You kept this as a 2-possession game right now with 8:05 left in the game. Now, can you go out, control the clock right now, and take as much time off as possible? This is where you've got to get this run game going. Whether it's Warburton, Anderson, we've seen multiple guys in this backfield. We've got to see who's going to be the guy that steps up right now and gets this clock to keep moving.
Take another look at the touchdown here. Just hand it to the up back, Marcus McNeil-Strongs, and then unable to convert on the 2-point conversion. 0 for 2 on the day on 2-point conversions for Nassau, and they are looming large here as we wind it down. Just over 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They trail by 10.
Yeah, 2 missed 2-pointers, and plus they missed the 1-pointer, which is the reason they went for the 2-pointer right there. So obviously not doing what they need to get done on special teams, and it could be the difference of this being a game right now, or you possibly going down for a winning drive.
Now here's the kickoff. It'll be fielded around the 12-yard line by Reginald Hoax, and he has a crease. Here goes Reginald Hoax. He's still on his feet, coming down the near sideline. Reginald Hoax finally gets banged down at around the 31-yard line. But boy, Reginald Hoax, there's another player that you could name player of the game if you were going on the offensive side of the ball. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns. He's made a big impact on special teams with some of these kick returns. We take another look at this one.
You are exactly right. And he even gets hit right here. See, when he gets in that goal, gets hit, keeps his legs going, stands up straight and be able to get 30 yards from the point where he had hit right there. So it just shows how big of an impact against special teams has been. And you honestly can say special teams has been won by ECC in this game, and that is one of the reasons why they're winning. You know, we're so used to watching NFL football and saying special teams doesn't have as much, but I'll tell you, it still has a major impact of whether you're going to win or lose.
Here's Willoughby. He hands it off to Torrey Anderson on 1st down, and Anderson will get inside the 30. Looks like down to the 29, so it'll be a gain of 2. Brings up 2nd down and 8.
2-yard gain on the play brings up 2nd and 8 for Cats.
I expect another run play right here, Tanner. Now again, remember ECC's in that point of the field where they can go for it on 4th down. So there'll be multiple shots they can take at this.
Go 4 wide here on 2nd down. The back is still Torrey Anderson. They play fake it to him. Now the pass is caught, and the tackle is made by Schulters on Reginald Hoax. He wants some type of flag, not going to get one.
Schulters did a good job of staying with that tackle right there to make sure, because if he doesn't make that tackle, there's a chance there's more yards added on that could have been a first down.
We just saw Reginald Hoke show off his yards after contact ability there on that kickoff return, but nice job limiting that by Dwayne Schulters, the defensive back. Third down here for ECC. 4 receivers. Willoughby, play fake, looking, and now gets hit there, and he throws. It's nearly intercepted. And Willoughby took a shot after the play and now able to pop back up. Looks like a miscommunication there between him and his receiver. He's hot about that.
I was going to say, do you also consider kicking a field goal? Because they do have two kickers that do have the leg to be able to get it in from here. And then what you do, and then you wonder if this is something you're going to talk about here for a second, Tanner, because think about it. If you can get a field goal on here, then what you're causing Nassau to do is to have to score 2 touchdowns here to win the game versus a touchdown and a field goal. So, a lot of things to talk about and consider right now if you're ECC. But I think they're going to go for this, and you're going to see it looks like I thought I saw they were bringing Warburton back out there. But they're going to talk this one over. Or, I'll tell you what, may be a great play right here is some sort of screenplay. What we talked about, especially if we're going to see that Nassau is be able to get some penetration in that backfield. Do you consider your own right now sort of screen, try to get this first down?
It is 4th down and long, kind of in a passing situation, no doubt. So those pass rushers for Nassau will be wanting to pin their ears back here. It'd be a good time to catch them off guard with one of those.
And they're going to stay with Anderson in the backfield right now, so that's something to pinpoint on if they're going to go ahead and do some sort of screen.
2-by-2 set here. Willoughby in the shotgun. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to roll to his right. Willoughby is going to tuck it and run. There is a flag down angling toward the marker. See where they spot it, and we have to check the penalty as well. I believe they just indicated here it's going to be against ECC.
Yeah, they just did that. You're right.
Looks like with the spot there, Willoughby got the first down, but perhaps all for naught. As it looks like the referee over there having a discussion.
Well, I think they're deciding whether it's a first down because he's trying to decide, do I accept the penalty or not? Because if you didn't get the first down, you're going to say, then I don't accept the penalty, and I'll take over on downs right there.
Yep. Over there talking with the head man and defensive coordinator for Nassau, Jaleel Oswald.
So they're measuring right now. They're actually measuring whether he's got a first down.
Wow, he's about a chain link or 2 short.
So that's what it is. So they'll decline the penalty, and now Nassau will take over on downs right there.
Wow, so big time stop right there, and it was about as close as you could imagine. Missed it by a chain link. So 6:16 left in the 4th quarter. Nassau will take over, and now they have a chance to cut it down to a 1-possession game.
But you see what I meant? That's why I was telling you about that. Try to go for the field goal right there, because if you can go ahead and kick the field goal, what that would have done is at least cause them to have to get 2 touchdowns. Now, necessarily, if you can get the touchdown, you don't have to go the length of the field.
Here we go, 1st down and 10. Things getting interesting here in the late stages of this one. Here is Outlaw as they're going to send some heat at him. Outlaw cannot escape. Delshawn Taylor does it again.
What a great push. You saw the whole line push right here. But just look at the penetration. See that? See how far back right now the entire offensive line is because of the push that are happening by those defensive tackles of ECC. And I'll tell you, Taylor's just been fantastic today.
He's been fantastic all season. Coming into this game, Taylor had almost doubled his TFL numbers from a season ago, already has more sacks than last year, and continuing to build on that. Had 8.5 TFLs all of last season. Coming into this game, already had 16 as they try and set a screen. It is caught by Corbett, and he's got some room here. He's got blocking. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet.
That's the exact play I was talking about. Remember when I said this would be a perfect spot for a screen for ECC right there? But boy, Nassau taking advantage of it's what you do. You're taking advantage of the pressure that's happening by the opposing team, and that's where that screen becomes so valuable.
First down, they throw it quick. It's caught by Blackman, and he gets wrestled down there by Joshua Larrier.
Larry did a great job on an open field tackle right there. He really does make sure he makes that play, so there is no gain whatsoever by Nassau.
And now Blackman was down there.
And here comes the rain right now. So this becomes interesting as the rain starts here. Bring the umbrella so we're okay to get to the cars out there?
Unfortunately, no, but as long as it's just a light sprinkle like this, I don't imagine I'll melt.
Yeah, I was really talking about for me because I'm.
They've lost a yard on that first down play. 2nd and 11 upcoming. Here's Outlaw in the shotgun. Trips near side. Motions out Corbett. Now looking, and Outlaw dancing away from the pressure. He's going to roll to his left. He redirects Corbett up the field there, and he makes the catch. Taken down by Shamir Land. That brings up 3rd down.
That's a great catch right there. First of all, the fact that he didn't get sacked and found himself to be able to roll out into some open area right there, but he fit that in right where he could catch that right there and made that into a positive play. That could have been easily a 5-7 yard loss somewhere in there that he turned into a positive gain.
3rd down, 2-by-2 set here on 3rd down. Here's the snap. Outlaw. He's going to hang in the pocket. Now he's going to throw it deep over the middle. Looking, and it is caught. Whoa. What a catch on 3rd down.
Wow, I can't believe he caught this. But he threw it up there where his man could get it. It looked like it could either be intercepted, come down with it, and he comes down with it right there for a fantastic play right there at looks like the 27-yard line.
Unbelievable grab right there from Tito Ruiz. Caught it in between 2 defenders, Jamal Drummond, as well as Zakir Rossman. Now here goes Outlaw, pressured. He has to heave this one out of bounds and incomplete in the direction of Ruiz.
When you saw the penetration, that one, you almost felt there was another screen play coming up the way they were all getting into that backfield. But they really are penetrating right now into that backfield and really causing some havoc and making sure that no matter what happens, Outlaw's got to get the ball out of his hands quickly. Some defensive players, he saw some substitutions right now, guys needing a rest. What we talked about, this defense has been out in the field much more in the second half than they were in the first.
Nassau got a hustle here. 3 seconds left on the play clock. They do get it off. Here is Outlaw drifting back. Now fires this one over the middle. Dangerous. It's incomplete. Was looking for Solomon Dakota there, but that one falls incomplete. It is 3rd down.
2:44 right now left inside this game.
For Nassau, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Those might come in handy here Should they score and get the ball back, have to make a stop on defense. Here's Outlaw on third down, trying to climb the pocket. Now gets out to his left, finds Corbett, and he's going to turn it up, and it looks like get the first down, and now Outlaw is down on the turf.
And there's 12 flags right around him, which means you got to think there's going to be some sort of roughing the passer right here as well. So you're going to add another half the distance to the goal right here, but the first thing is to make sure Outlaw is okay because he's down right now on that turf.
He was moving his lower extremities. Looked scary there for a second because it looked like he was out cold. He didn't move an inch, but saw one of his
leg. Yeah, they're moving his leg right now.
And he's laying down on his stomach.
Now you wonder if it was just a cramping thing.
Yep, they roll him over and they're working on that right leg.
Oh, wait a second. Is this penalty going against NASSAU? He just marked off the yards.
And it looks like they are marking it against the Lions. We haven't gotten a signal yet from the official on what the penalty was.
And actually, look at where he marked it off, and now they got the marker right with him right there. So this actually went against, had to be a hold that went against right there, NASSAU. Wow, what a big difference right there on that call. Especially when you saw those flags right next to him the way they were. You thought it was going to go against ECC, but no, this looks like it will be against NASSAU right here. And no matter what, Outlaw's going to have to sit out a play right here as well.
He's still down on his backside there, now able to pop up, and he'll walk off under his own power. It's always good to see. Seen they've had a couple guys get roughed up. Had James Collins go down earlier. Antoine Blackman got shaken up, and now.
And this rain's starting to come down. So this is going to make this a little bit harder to throw the ball right now into this game. And the clock ticking again as they're moving. So we're down coming up on the 2:30 mark right here.
And you've got your backup quarterback in as well. This is Jaden Taylor for this third down and long. And here's the snap. Taylor, the lefty, going to throw this one deep down the sidelines, and that one is incomplete. There is a flag. Looks like this is going against Zakir Rossman in coverage.
Listen, I understand that he thought he had really good positioning right there, but you can see a lot of contact, a lot of hand right there that it was holding the jersey, and that's the reason for that call.
And it is going against ECC. And for Jaden Taylor, this is someone who is familiar with the program. He got thrown into the fire last year as a true freshman, and he has put a lot of those growing pains behind him. Last year, completed 48% of his passes, 691 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Everybody's leaving. This rain really did affect things right here as the crowd's all leaving right now.
Too bad, because this is shaping up to be an entertaining finish here. First down and 10. Here's Jaden Taylor hanging in the pocket. Now he's going to roll to his left, and he's going to fire on the move, and that one is incomplete. Looking for Solomon Dakota.
But I got to tell you, how hard is that to now walk in? Not only are you walking into the game in the fourth quarter down and you've got to come up big, but the minute you come into the game, it starts downpouring on you as well. So you're dealing with the elements, you're dealing with the moment right now, and you're having to come up big right now for your team. Very, very hard to do and a lot to ask of your backup quarterback right now.
Although, as I did mention, he does have some experience. So obviously not ideal to be without your starter, but to have an experienced backup, that's just about all you can ask for, although certainly not an ideal situation for him to step into, being down 10, having to deal with the torrential rain as well. Here goes Taylor. He's going to roll right and now throw across body and diving. That is incomplete. Just a little too far out in front of his intended target. I believe that was Tito Ruiz there, the intended target. It's third down.
Yeah, I do think it was as well, Tanner. And this is the kind of weather, though, it is easier to lay out for those as you're laying out onto turf right there when it's nice and wet. They'll get 2 shots at this, though. This is not, if they don't get this completion, they will go for this, obviously, and especially with we're coming up on the 2-minute warning.
Here we go, third down. Just over 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Taylor takes the snap. He's going to fire short. It's off the hands, incomplete. Looking for Eric Harris, so now fourth down and long upcoming here. And obviously at this stage of the game, you got to go for it here.
Are they going to kick the field goal? Yeah, they need the field goal anyway. I think this is going to be a field goal right here.
I spoke too soon. You're right. Yep, they're going to have to do it sooner or later, so we are gonna have a timeout here, so both teams will have an opportunity to talk things over here. With 1:59 left in the fourth quarter, it would make it a one-possession game here with a field goal.
Looks like the whole EC, there's 1 tent in the entire field area.
Everyone's underneath.
And it just be half the ECC team's under the tent right now. But listen, if you're trying to get your offensive guys stay warm, stay underneath there, you're going to need to go out onto the field. Okay, I absolutely understand why they're trying to look out for certain players, especially my quarterback, who was a little banged up right there. Make sure he stays comfortable.
The kicker is Matias Perez Herrera, coming into this game on the season 2 for 3 on field goal attempts. Both of those coming from the 40 to 49 yard range. And this one for Perez Herrera, it is good. Big time kick there from Matias Perez Herrera. It's a 7-point game with 1:52 left. Nassau has 2 timeouts here.
Now's all up to your offense. This is where you need your offense to come up big. You wanted your quarterback back. You got him. Now is going to be who's going to step up, because it may just be a first down to be able to end this game.
Although the conditions, obviously ECC has had much more success in the pass game today than in the run game, and these conditions right now do not favor a passing attack. So for ECC, probably going to have to rely a little bit more on the run game here, which has been hit or miss for them so far here today.
So you got the hands team out front. Take a look. There's only 3 players back right now. They're expecting the onside kick. There's a lot of things you can do here. There's a lot of open space. It doesn't have to necessarily be to the up line guys. Do you try to find a hole right here to get your guys to the ball first?
And they are going to go for the onside kick, and it's loose. It looked like Nassau recovered. We'll wait for the signal here from the officials, and now they signal Nassau. Wow. Big time there. They get the onside kick. They recover it right at midfield, and now this one just got interesting.
See how the middle opened up right there, too? Like, he kicked it and it went right down the middle. You've got to hold your ground as one of those hands team members right there. Your job is to solely get that ball and land on it so that your offense could come back out on the field. And again, this defense that has really been out here all afternoon in the second half, they've got to come up big again.
Minute 51, 2 timeouts left for Nassau. They're going to run it on first down, and this is Kaisim Springer. He's got the first down.
And I'll tell you, Nassau's got 2 timeouts left. ECC's only got 1 left.
inside the 40-yard line at the 38 to be exact. 4 receivers here on first down. Nassau still rolling with their backup quarterback, Taylor. He's going to throw near side, incomplete, looking for Tito Ruiz, but even had he made the catch, Joshua Larrier was all over that one.
Yeah, actually, he was better off dropping it because it would have been a play for a loss right there, actually.
Yep.
And what at least happened, that play for a loss would have meant that they were going to have to use one of their timeouts as well. Now you don't even have to use the timeout. Clock stopped for you because of the incomplete pass.
Minute 25 left here in the fourth quarter. Jaden Taylor, the backup, quarterbacking the offense here. Coming into this game, had only appeared in 2 games this year. 0 for 1 through the air and 3 carries for -6 yards. Now it's going to be second down here. Taylor, the play fake, and he's going to throw this one deep down the far sideline. It's underthrown, and it looks like incomplete. He did not catch it.
And it's hard to tell right now. Our windows are all watered over right now, so we got to take a second to be able to see exactly what happens out there. But that hits the ground, and now a big opportunity right here for ECC to make their stop that they need to do.
Going to be third down and long here for Nassau, and according to what I have, I am at 1 for 8 so far on third down today, so this going to be a big-time play here, and they don't need to get it all back here. This certainly could be 2-down territory. Taylor looking. Taylor. Time runs out, and he is taken down. Who else but Delshawn Taylor? We got Taylor on Taylor crime, and it's 4th down and long.
He has just been tremendous. But I'll tell you, when you got 2 defensive tackles that can get into the backfield like what we've seen today, you've got to now make a decision. Am I going to double team one or am I going to double team the other?
Right.
So if you're going to go ahead and double team Sammy, then guess what? Taylor's going to have a day. You want to turn around and say, okay, Taylor's the one burning us. Guess what's going to happen next? Sammy's going to turn around and have the day. These two matched up against each other have been phenomenal inside this game. And then everything they're doing to be able to have Land at linebacker come in and make the plays that he's done has shown this entire defense on how good they really are.
No matter who you decide to double team, you still lose.
Yep.
It's going to be 4th down and long here. 1:05 left in the fourth quarter. Nassau, 1 timeout. Also 1 timeout left for ECC. So one last gasp here to try and keep this game alive for Nassau. And Elijah Outlaw has come back into the game here. Got shaken up earlier. He is back for a pivotal 4th down play here. Fourth down and long. Here's the snap. Outlaw has to dance away from pressure, and he just throws it short. Now a long way to go here to try and get this first down. And down the sideline, not going to get there.
But a great call. Another screenplay that almost gets them to a first down. What a great call right there, and almost turns into a big play. But that's it right there. That should really be the game. You don't get the first down, and it's first down ECC, that you're going to be able to kneel this one out. This holds right here. This is a huge victory right here for ECC, especially coming off the last 2 weeks. A conference game against Hudson Valley with a loss. Hocking obviously did not go the way they wanted it to go. Now you're coming into another conference game. You get a victory right here. This really sets the tone to finish off the season the way they needed to.
And Nick Comizzo is in there at quarterback as Willoughby is on the sideline celebrating, dapping up Sammy Ikegwanu, among others. As Comizzo will do the honors and kneel this one out.
Did a ball come out?
Everyone's
guys kind of dove in like the ball came out.
Yep. Nassau wants a fumble. They're not going to get it. Now the clock stops, and Nassau takes their final timeout. They let.
I was going to say, because if you look at the clock right now, I was going to say is if they didn't call timeout, technically they didn't need to even run a play because there was 25 seconds left on the clock right there. So they could have easily let that one go. So that was a much-needed timeout. And obviously, like we said, with the water out there and it's being slick and that ball, anything can happen. So you call the timeout because you obviously saw in the last play, we thought that could have been a fumble, a ball on the ground right there that could have went towards Nassau. So anything can happen under these conditions.
Still have one more snap to run here, so anything can happen, but assuming that no catastrophe happens for ECC here, they will move to 5-2 on the season and snap that 2-game losing streak that they had coming into this game. Nassau will fall to 3-2. And this is the 9th time these two teams have met since 2016. Nassau coming into this game leading the series 5-3. That'll be 5-4.
Look at, see what I mean?
He went the other way. Nassau recovers. So the kneel down, they fumble it on the kneel down attempt, and it's recovered by Nassau. So 13 seconds left. We're not done just yet. We'll have a couple more cracks at it here. Just when you thought you had, you had thought this game had shown you everything it had to offer. No.
And think about this. That literally almost happened the play before. 2 plays in a row. And it's why we said you got to give Nassau credit for calling timeout and making them snap the ball again.
Right. The only regret they have is they probably wish they called that timeout earlier. So here we go. 13 seconds left and no timeouts, so you can't throw it over the middle here. It's either got to be in the end zone or out of bounds. Elijah Outlaw in a quarterback, 4 receivers, 3 to the near side. Outlaw is going to step up in the pocket. Now he's going to throw. That one is intercepto.
He dropped it. It came out. It looked like he had it intercepted, but it came out right there.
Tremaine Dawson nearly came away with it. He had an interception last week, got his first interception as a Cat last week in the loss against Hocking. Almost had one right there to seal it. And Outlaw's got to be careful when he's climbing the pocket. That was awfully close to being an illegal forward pass, potentially. Now 7 seconds left and a 7-point deficit here. Outlaw, the snap, he's going to fire quickly. That one is incomplete. Then Zakir Rossman came up and laid a lick there on Solomon Dakota. 2 seconds left.
This is now got to get to the end zone right here. So this is where you'll see. You'll leave your 4 guys that have been right now your defensive line. You'll leave those guys, move everybody else back right now and make sure nothing gets behind you. And then you need your 4 guys that have been doing it all game, get in that backfield and do not give him enough time.
Third down here. Again, 4 receivers, and you can see everyone outside of the front 4 back there for ECC. Here's the Hail Mary. This one up for grabs. It is caught. It is caught. Touchdown, Nassau. Mark Pearson Jr. makes the catch, and it is 27-28 here at the Horn.
This may be the one of the most improbable finishes I've ever been on the call for. Ever been on the call for, Tanner. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, this
is
unreal.
I have never seen a finish like this before.
But we're not out of the woods yet. They still have to make the PAT here. No pressure here for Matias Perez Herrera. Let's see. For the tie, Perez Herrera. It's up, and it is no good. No good. ECC hangs on. off a missed PAT from Matias Perez Herrera. So one of the most just insane endings I've ever seen, ever been on the call for. All of that, and you fall short with a missed extra point. Oh, man.
Unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable. I cannot believe this finish out here. I've never seen anything like this. A kneel down go not wrong once, go wrong twice, and then boom, you've got the extra point that you're going to miss after you have that improbable touchdown play.
Well, if you're just joining us, this is what you missed here. At the horn, 0's on the clock. Elijah Outlaw to the end zone. He finds Mark Pearson on the Hail Mary, makes it 27-28. And then you get to the PAT, Matias Perez Herrera, no good. Wide right. Words that have haunted Western New York, but today they haunt the Nassau Community College Lions there as ECC holds on. So there you go, ECC fans. Some of you probably in the process of making a cardiologist appointment after that finish, but no need as the team holds on. They win 28-27 here. They move to 6-2 on the season. Meanwhile, Nassau falls to 3-2. Taking a look at what's next for both of these teams, Nassau will make the almost 7-hour trip back, and boy, what a bus ride that'll be, I can imagine. They will make the 7-hour trip back to Garden City, where they will host the Naval Academy Preparatory School next Saturday at 1 p.m., while the Cats will welcome Hudson Valley Community College here next Saturday at 2 p.m. in the hopes of flipping the script on the September 27th matchup between these two teams, a 42-14 win for Hudson Valley Community College. That's going to do it for us, for everybody in our broadcast crew, including our two troopers of cameramen, Russ Battaglia and Mario Hall, battling the elements, our on-site technical producer, Tim Gardner, and my color man, Tom Prince. This is Tanner Saunders saying thank you for listening to this absolute thriller of a JUCO football game between the Nassau Community College Lions and the ECC Cats here on Western New York Athletics.